Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Good afternoon, sir. You're audible.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I see the participants? I'm just trying to. All right. All right. Can you all see me? Yeah. Okay. Am I visible? Is my video visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So, how are we today? Can I get some more people on the videos? I see only myself and who else are there on the videos? Okay. So today, who's going to take the lead? Which teams are prepared for today's role play? And can I get some names in the chat box? Abhilash and Sajanya, that's one team. Which is the other team? There were supposed to be 2 or 3 more teams. 2 or 3 teams, right? Last time we had discussed. Some of you, can I get some more confirmations? Whoever is present, can you please confirm that you're going to be present? I have only one team, Team Saujanya and Abhilash. You will be doing the second part of your interview, operations.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Operations and HR.
Yeah. What about the other teams who were present and they had committed that they would do their role play today? Are they there? Okay. So if you are already here, I will request you to at least chat and let us know in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and speak. And meanwhile, we can get started. If they're not there, I'm assuming because everybody had a challenge with different time zones, not zones, but the times. So if they can join, hopefully they'll join a little later, and then we can get started with them. Okay, but before we begin, any questions from anybody? Any questions, any thoughts, any ideas you want to share? We've been discussing quite a few things. So anyone wants to share any thoughts, any ideas? How is it going? Because we'll be doing this role play for the next, maybe today and maybe the next one at max. After that, we'll get on to some other thing, some other topics for our discussion. But meanwhile, connected with this, would anyone have any questions, any thoughts? In the last 2 sessions, I did not see many students though. Quite a few of them were not there. I hope they're not assuming that this is only for L2s and they need not participate. Yeah, this is entirely, everything is for the students for their benefit. So I hope the students are aware of that and they're not assuming it's only for L2s and they need not join. Sajanya, is this, are they aware of that? They're aware of that, right?
Yes, sir, everyone.
Okay.
I mean, all L2s have informed their team.
They have informed and they have pushed them also, right? I hope they have been informed and they have been pushed. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any specific reason some of the students are not there? I mean, I used to see this Shriram quite a lot, but last session he was not there, and this time.
Sir, this is college timing, sir. So maybe that.
No, but a little later also they can join, right? They could join a little later, but they've not been joining. So.
Sure.
Hello, Altaf. Good to see you. Hello, Tahir. Good to see you.
Hi.
Nice.
Yeah. So, are you also prepared for a role play today, Altaf and Tahir?
No, sir. Probably we were like about to do after this one. No.
Not right now, but yeah, I mean, today will you be doing? Or if you're doing, I want you to confirm that on in the chat box. Okay.
We'll check
Okay,
in
sir.
the details.
We'll check. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's get started then for today's
Yes,
role
sir.
play.
Okay.
So first one will be Abhilash and Saujanya. And can you
Okay.
give everybody a background? So over to both of you, and maybe you can explain the roles that you would be doing and a background on what is the situation, so that we all understand the situation, and based on that we can interact and understand and listen to you. Okay. So over to
Okay,
you,
sir.
Saujanya and Abhilash. All the
Thank you
others
so much.
can mute themselves.
Hope I am audible, sir. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
you're audible. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So in our last discussion, okay. So right now I'm enacting the role of operations manager. So we have a candidate named Saujanya. So for just the variety of it, I've changed my name from Abhilash to Divakar for this particular role. So I'll be acting as operations manager. So yeah, so I'll be interviewing Saujanya basically as a manager. So because she has already completed 2 of the technical rounds. So the first round was an online test. Post that, Abhilash had taken a technical round with her. So he had actually provided his feedback to me. So based on the feedback, I thought I'll have a discussion with the candidate and then take
So
a
both
final
the
call.
previous rounds have been positive, is what you're saying. So they
Yes.
have
Yep.
given
Yes,
an
sir.
approval for going ahead. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the operations round. So what exactly do you mean by operations round of interview? Abhilash?
Operations round, I mean, it is nothing but a managerial discussion. So where I, being a manager, so I'm basically operations manager, wherein I basically take care of a couple of projects in my tower. So I handle a tower called GRSB for HPE. So
And so what do you mean by a tower? What do you mean by a tower?
I mean, it's kind of a business unit where, there are multiple teams under it. So there are various streams. So we have a separate, tower called tower dedicated to the development part of it, where people only work on application development and stuff like that. So I come from the service tower. So wherein we basically take care of all the service related services kind of projects.
Okay.
So,
and what is this company about? Can you quickly give a background just for the benefit of everybody who's new, and try to make it so that if they watch this and are coming here for the first time, they will have an idea of what's going on. Yeah.
Sure. So actually, I mean, we are still sticking with HPE as the company. So ours is a service-based company. So we are in the market for quite some time now. Especially HPE came into existence since 2015, because previously it was part of a larger organization called HP, that is Hewlett Packard. Then we went through some split and merger. So since 2015, HPE came into existence. So we are a service-based company where we have dedicated ourselves into bringing everything as a service. Especially we work on the lines of cloud, edge to cloud technologies, wherein we also have a individual wing where we also develop and sell servers and storage arrays. Along with that, we also provide cloud services to our clients.
Okay, so for the benefit of everybody, and so that we don't get narrowed by just one organization. Let's assume it is a similar organization, right? For the sake of classroom let's assume it's a similar organization which offers maybe whatever kind of offering services and all of that they offer. Let's not use specific organizations, but let's be we can use a multinational organization of this size.
Sure.
Medium-sized company, because
Sure.
this is for everybody. Okay. All right. So because for various reasons, also it will be easy for students to understand. They may not know what that organization is, and they may wonder, okay, this is only for that kind of an organization. So we're trying to give a general feel of what an operations interview might go like, right, for a candidate.
Sure. Yep.
All right. So okay, so fair enough. She has cleared 2 rounds, and this is the 3rd round. And after this, in case she clears this, is there going to be any other round?
It's going to be a HR discussion post this, if she clears this round. Yep.
Okay. Okay. And what do you mean by an HR? It is mostly everything is almost through. It's about salary negotiation.
Salary negotiation, yes. Yeah, the benefits and salary
maybe
negotiation. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Abhilash. So, Saujanya, what is, can you give a quick background about your situation in this whole setup?
Sure. So I'm a fresher who has passed out MC. So finding a job. So I got this ad through LinkedIn and some third-party agency from the multinational company. As I said, they contacted me to appear for the interview. So I've cleared my first round. Technical round and I've cleared that. So I've been moved to second round wherein Mr. Abhilash took some of the rounds there. Like we had multiple questions and discussions. So I've cleared that too. So and I've got the result saying that I've been to next round. So today is my manager operations and HRs.
Okay. What is, so are you going to go ahead with this? Are you keen on this role or have you evaluated the organization based on the last two interviews? What is your feeling about the role?
Yes, sir. So I have done some research on the company and what is it based on, and as I got to know that that the participant, I mean the manager who's been attending Divakar, named Divakar. So I've searched his profile on LinkedIn and checked what kind of experience he has and what domains he has worked, so that the questions can be related to it. So that I've prepared on some couple of things.
And is the role panning out as you expected it to be? I mean, is this what you were expecting in this role? And are you happy with how it's unfolding, the discussions and all that?
Sorry, sir. I just
No,
missed your
so is the role, so you came for a particular role, you are appearing for a particular role, profile.
Yes,
so
sir.
based on the discussions, do you think it's unfolding like that? Are you liking, I mean, are you excited about joining this organization or what is your impression of the role? And because you had some couple of discussions with the teams there, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I'm very much happy so that as
Okay.
soon as I came out the college, so this is my first opportunity and it seems so exciting that I'm attending a couple of interviews and all the roles and all the questions being asked are a little challenging for me. So I just want to take up this.
Okay, but it's the
Which
same kind of
matches my
role
criteria.
which you're looking for.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the kind of
Yes.
role you want.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From the previous discussion what we had with Mr. Abhilash, sir, so from that I've understood that the role matches my profile, like the entire what I'm searching.
Okay, great, wonderful. So over to both of you. Start your yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, over to Abhilash and Saujanya. Both of you can start your.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Hello, Saujanya. Very good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Very good.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, sir. Thank you so much, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us at such short notice. So, all right, we'll begin this discussion. So I'll give you a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Divakar. So I'm currently working as operations manager for this company. About me, I come with about 12 plus years of experience. So currently with this company for the past 5 years. So before this, I was with a company called Point Next. So I'm basically handling a couple of teams under the services tower under GRSP. So this particular project that you are being interviewed, did Mr. Abhilash give any background about the project?
Yes, sir. I've got some analyzation on the testing background, but overall about the project, I need some information.
Sure. All right. I'll give you a brief background about the project itself. So talking about the project, because there is a NDA in place, I cannot give out specific details, but there are some details that we could definitely discuss. So this is a client project basically. So wherein this particular client is handling handling kind of a sports club. All right. So for them, we as as a team, so what we are doing is we are developing a couple of mobile applications for them. All right. So that is where we are looking for a tester. So there is a QA team which is involved, because any product that we release should be tested completely. All right. So because given the fact that this is a mobile application, so there will be a lot more criteria, so especially when it comes to testing it out. So that's why there is a existing testing team which includes multiple hierarchy. So there is a senior level QA who takes care of all dividing the tasks and delegating it. So then we also have a couple of experienced people who are working. So that is where we are actually trying to expand the team, because this project is set to get into phase 2, because we are still in beta phase. So next, by the end of Q1 next year, so we are going to actually bring this particular app live. So that's why we are looking for few junior testers to bring into to our particular team. All right. So this is where you'll be basically testing the application on both browsers and also on mobile. So it could be both Android and iOS. All right. So that's where you'll have to pick up a lot of new technologies, because that's very basic criteria. Because the role says you are a QA or a junior QA, doesn't mean you'll only be doing manual testing per se, because everything is moving into automation these days. So you will definitely begin as a manual tester, wherein you will have to pick up the nuances of testing. So you'll have to understand the entire testing life cycle. So after that, you'll be put onto automation also, wherein you'll have to learn a lot of things. So that is the very first expectation. So you'll have to be very proactive. So you'll have to learn things on the fly. All right. There are lots of online portals that we also provide to our employees, our teammates, so that you should be taking initiative, and you will have to learn a lot of things. So that's one thing. And post that, you'll be involved in a team which is globally scattered, because there are few people who are present in Bangalore, and there is a on-site team which is present in Germany. All right. So you'll have to talk to them. That is where various time zones also get involved. So that's another criteria. All right. So you don't have to, I mean, I'll give you, this upfront, because we cannot guarantee one fixed, shift. So we don't want, our candidates or our employees to say that, okay, I'll only work in the Indian time zone. All right. So that's one more thing. All right. So let's, that is a very brief introduction about the project itself. And as I said, because of the NDA, I cannot give out specific details. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much. Understood a couple of things. So thank you so much for taking me through this one.
All right. You're welcome. So let's try to understand about your educational background. Could you kindly give me a very quick brief about your education background and any project that you have worked on so far?
Sure, sir. So my name is Saujanya, and I was born and brought up in Bangalore, and I've completed my master's in computer applications from 2022 batch. My aggregate is about 77%. So basically, we had two projects which had to be covered in the 5th semester and 6th semester. So fifth semester we had a team project, and 6th semester was a individual project which we had to do. So it's still under going, because we have an external to be completed. So the last evaluation has to be done. But before that, I'm trying to get some interviews, so that once I get cleared, so that I join soon. So 5th semester we had a project called Smart Traffic Management System. We were about 4 people in the team, and I was leading the team there. So we had very good results which had come out. So we actually took up the present scenarios, and we well constructed, and we rebuilt the design completely and made sure that everything from the past scenarios and previous problems could be overcome.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. So in this particular project that you just spoke about, so was there a person or a team which was actually working on the QA part of it, where they were actually testing this particular project?
Yes, sir. I was into testing.
Okay. What kind of testing did you do?
So we developed a model there. So from there, we tried to do a congestion where there in that particular scenario, we had to implement manual testing. So and wherein we had to write all the test scenarios in an Excel sheet and share it to the team, that is the college team. So that from there we got approval and we had to do it.
Okay, when you say test scenario, could you give me a couple of examples of test scenarios in your particular project?
Sure, sir. So so one of the scenario where we tried to do was we tried to make one particular lane traffic congestion wherein from that we had some API also collaborated with our project, and with that APIs we tried to alter the route wherein before getting into the lane, so that the map says that avoiding this road might be beneficial for the user. So wherein they had a different route to take. So for the users. So in that case, we had one scenario there. So we especially made that particular lane congestion by taking an example of ambulance services or any VIP person who would be arriving for a particular day. So maybe that could be informed in prior, so that users doesn't get stuck in the traffic for a longer time.
Okay, so this is about, how your project basically operates, right? So how did you test out the code? Like, was there any test case around your code itself?
So we had some of the sensors implemented there. Sir. So from the sensors only, we had to try everything.
Okay, all right. So who was leading? Okay, who was leading this particular team in your project?
I was leading it, sir.
Okay, so you were both leading the team and also part of the QA.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how did you delegate the responsibilities within your?
Small interruption, sorry. I
Sure.
believe Saujany's voice is not very clear. Maybe you can hold your mic closer. I'm able to hear, but some of the other students have chatted there, so maybe you can do that.
Yeah,
And
I
now
saw that.
move to. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, sir. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll repeat my question. So how did you delegate the responsibilities within your team?
Sir, before starting the project itself, me and my team members, we actually made a plan wherein we had to complete the task in hand. So that we had a very good plan. We also consulted our seniors by taking their plan typically. How did they delegate it, or how could they cover all the topics? So this was one of the interaction we had with our seniors. So that which helped us a lot, and we made some of the changes which we needed to our project, and we tried to implement them, and we tried to overcome all the challenges, saying that all our team members, we used to meet for 1 hour or 2 hour daily apart from our college timings, and we had tasks divided for each and every person, so that I made sure that everybody complete their task on the time, or if it was not completed, we used to sit together and we used to help each other, and we used to complete it before time, so that we don't get struck at any point, and we had enough time to test it. So testing phase was a bigger phase, because right now it's already implemented in many of the things. Not that nowhere there is no traffic, there's nothing like that, but we had to overcome all the situations. So, and there are some challenges which was a big major problem in many of the signals. Like a person waiting for 10 minutes would eat up his time. So to reach any kind of office, or for example, any emergency services, it would be really difficult. So at that cases, we had a major problem. So we made sure that we had enough time for that testing phases, and we also implemented a lot of things to do that, and we consulted many of our uh, sorry, sir. So we consulted many of our teachers in that time, and we took their help, and we asked them to test it, so that if testing in the sense, give some inputs on what we are doing, so that we got some inputs from that also, and we tried, we cleared all those things.
Okay, all right. Can you explain me a scenario where you basically improved your ideas based on all these suggestions? You said that you discussed with your teammates, then you also reached out to your seniors, and also to the teachers who are basically taking care of these projects, right? So were there any such scenarios where you improved your ideas or changed your ideologies?
So sometimes implementing new ideas was challenging for us, especially when it comes to a significant change to the team's work process. It was really difficult. But to avoid those challenges and reduce some of the risk, what I did was I provided all the evidence available to support my belief, saying that what kind of thing should be executed, that the idea will be more beneficial to the team. If my team continues to resist the idea, I would ask them for any kind of an alternative idea which could they offer. Otherwise, I used to try to gather more resources to gain the support. So I used to collect more resources on that and do more research. Nowadays we have a lot of platforms to do research. If any questions also, I used to put it in Quora so that I get a response from anybody else there. So there was a lot of research done.
Okay, understood. All right, Saujanya, what's your career goals?
So, sir, you're asking where am I supposed to land or how is it?
Okay, let me rephrase that. So basically, I mean, looking at your education qualification and also, based on what you just explained about your project, right? So you kind of have both, development background and also you have some understanding about testing. So this particular role that you are being interviewed for, this is a QA.
Yes.
Role, right? So given the fact that you are a fresher, so once you get into a particular field, so that's where candidates will tend to stay for a long time. So why especially QA? So that was my question. So is that your career goal ultimately?
My career goal is yes, sir. But moving on to
Sorry to
this.
interrupt once again.
Yes.
I'm able to hear you, although there is a little disturbance. I'm able to hear Saujanya, but some of the chat, has been that they're not able to hear you very clearly. But I'm able to hear you. It's not too bad. It's just that there is some kind of this thing. But if anybody else is facing that issue of not able to hear Saujanya, can you please chat right now, immediately, and let us know. Otherwise, we'll assume it's okay. Okay, so we haven't received any other chat, so we'll go ahead, Saujanya. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sorry for that. Even I tried changing my position because there was some background noise.
Yeah. I'm able to hear. There is no, somebody is saying voice is not clear. So is it absolutely inaudible, or there is some? I'm able to understand. It's not that bad, but what about the others? Can anyone else, whoever is able to hear her properly, can they say we are able to hear you? Abhilash, are you able to hear her well?
Yes, sir, I can hear her well. I mean, it's breaking a bit in between.
Correct. But
That's
otherwise, in
intermittent.
general, it is okay. I mean, it's not too bad. So anyway, let's go ahead. I think unless you can change something drastically to make it perfect, Saujanya, but otherwise, I think we'll have to. Yeah, Altaf is also saying voice is breaking, but okay. So I guess we can understand. So go ahead, Saujanya. Try to see if you can,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll. Is it better now?
Yes,
I'll
yes.
try to hold it
Seems to be much
completely.
better. Seems to be much better. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. So the question was, I think, about career goals.
Career
Yes,
goals,
sir.
yep.
Yes. So I have a goal of becoming an IT consultant, and after getting enough experience, I would like to take up any managerial kind of role in the future, sir.
Okay, understood. All right. So, all right. Why are you seeking employment in our company, basically?
Okay. So ever since I got into MCA, I've been seeing some of the tools which are potentially disruptive force in the industry. So now that your company is actively shifting the focus to services based, so I believe your multinational company would have a firm grounding for me, in the future. So it would be a honor for me to be part of that. So that's why I'm seeking your company as beneficial for my career.
Okay, understood. All right. So I believe that you do understand that this is a contract position, right? Because we are not hiring you directly on the payroll of our company. So you'll be a part of, a different company's payroll, but you'll be working as a contractor to our company. Is that understood?
Yes, sir. I've understood the policy. So I've been also told by Abhilash sir saying that
Mhm.
maybe looking at my performance, it would be converted into a role,
Yeah, that's
permanent
true.
role, because your company doesn't hire freshers directly. So that is what I've
Exactly.
heard. And
Yep.
if I have to get into your company, so I'll have to get into the same process by getting into a contractual role and then getting into permanent, depending on my performance.
Exactly. So that clearly depends on your performance, because this particular role, I mean, any role in our company, right? So we treat everybody as individual contributors, right? They should be self-intuitive, where they'll have to pick new technologies and learn. It's not that when there is an opportunity, they shouldn't say that, okay, give me 2 more weeks, I'll pick a particular technology up, and then I'll be ready. Instead of that, because there are lots of online learning platforms available. There are senior resources always there. You can always reach out to people and you should be able to pick up tools and technologies on the fly. All right.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. I just have a couple more questions. So if things goes well, all right.
Yes.
So how soon can you join us?
Sir, I'm just waiting for my exams to be done. That is my practical. So as soon as my exams get completed, I will need to join.
So when is your practicals? Like, is that in a month's time or so?
It's tomorrow, sir. We have tomorrow.
Okay, understood. Thanks so much. All right. Do you have any questions for me?
Nothing from mine, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Saujanya. Thank you so much for your time. So if things goes well, then my team will get in touch with you. So probably there will after this there will be a HR discussion round. All right. So the team
Okay.
will reach out to you probably by the end of the day today. All right. Yep. It was nice talking to you, and have a great day.
You too, sir. Thank you so
Yep.
much.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice day. Bye.
Bye bye. Yes, sir.
That's it from us, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. And interesting to see your interaction. So before I speak, maybe both of you can share your experience. You have not rehearsed this, obviously. It is like an impromptu thing, right? Both of you,
Yes.
you have not rehearsed it.
No,
So
Yes.
can I get some, you have not rehearsed, right?
No, sir. We don't.
Okay, so Abhilash, can you give me your feedback on Saujanya and how did it go, and what do you think went well, what do you think didn't go well from the role play perspective and from the real candidate perspective as well? I mean, will you take the candidate or what is your... So two lenses you have to evaluate. One is from the role play perspective, what went well, what didn't go well.
Yep.
And second, actually, how was the candidate? If it was a real interview, what would you...
Okay, I'll begin with the real, interview candidate scenario. So if it was a real interview candidate, then I would have just definitely considered, because she's enthusiastic. I mean, she sounds very enthusiastic. That's one. She does understand, our project that she has explained to me. So that's another part. And she is also, okay to basically, come up, join a company, even though it is a contractual role, because we have seen many freshers who don't do that in the beginning, because they say, usually it comes down to the job security part of it. So most people say, no, I want a regular role. But a contractual position will have both its cons and pros. But in a real world scenario, we would expect the candidate should be to be flexible, especially when it comes to being a contractual role and being being able to work in different time zones, especially when it comes to shifts. They should be able to work there. We put them into Indian shift or into UK shift, so that they should be okay to do that.
So that is completely the company's prerogative. I have no issue. So in this situation, it was a contractual role. So if they have, and the candidate is well aware of that, so that is pretty clear. It could be a contractual role interview, or it could be, it could be a regular full-time, permanent job kind of a thing with the direct employee kind of a thing.
Yep.
So that is anyway something which both of you know. You also know, they also know, and then you're going ahead with the interview. So yeah, I mean, it's good to ask that question, but I mean, in the interest of our role play thing and for everybody's benefit, I'm just saying that that is something you have to decide. You, in the sense, the students. If you're okay, and if the company, because the company has decided to do it that way, you can't change those policies, right? The students can't change those. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but we have seen, few companies, I mean, based on my personal experience, initially they never mentioned this. You would, directly go apply for a, role at XYZ company. They'll complete couple of rounds. Then when you go into managerial or HR round, that's when they'll, usually reveal saying that, okay, we don't directly take you on our payroll. It will usually come from the contract, company. So you'll be part of that company, but working for our, organization. Then based on your performance, we'll take you in. So we have seen this happen.
Sure. Yeah, no. So I'm saying all that is anyway going to be pretty clear through the interview process anyway. Now the decision is the candidates whether they want to get into. They can voice whether they want to do it or not, and whether they're okay with it or not. But from the interview perspective, it is being made clear, and all of those things are being made clear. So eventually, it is. See, they have something to offer, whether it is contractual, whether it is this job or whatever. And they have, if there is room for negotiating those things, then they can do. Students, I mean, the candidate can do that. But if there is no room for negotiating those kind of things, then there is nothing much they can do, but be part of the interview. So okay, fine, fair enough. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I mean, that was from the point of, from the perspective of real candidate.
Okay.
So yeah, I would have definitely considered hiring her. So that's
okay. Do you think she was very good because because she's appearing like a fresher, but she has experience, and that's why she was able to perform well? Or do you think a fresher candidate would also be able to perform similarly?
Again, it depends, sir. But I believe even a fresher candidate could definitely,
would be able to
do this.
Because a lot of students may have this in their mind. Oh, she's Saujanya ma'am, she's an L2. She can do it well because she already has experience. I don't think I can do it. It's not.
That's not the case.
But I think that's not true. So even freshers would be able to do it.
They'll be able to definitely do it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she acted her part well.
Yes, sir.
She acted her part as a fresher well, is what I'm saying.
That's
okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. What next?
Then coming back to how she answered all the questions. Yeah, she answered most of the questions very well. What went wrong? Yeah, and like the place, I mean, the instance where she told me that in her project she was leading the project and also working as a QA. That was where I felt that she's. I mean, usually candidates will try to cook up some stories when you just ask them whether who was leading the project. Like that is the typical answer. Everybody will say that I was leading it. Right? Even if you ask all 5 people who have worked on the same project, that will be the standard answer that everybody gives. So that's where I felt that shouldn't be the answer there. Apart from that,
she was leading it. She said she was leading it. So it was a very cliched answer, and she was just trying to. I mean, that's something which would not really impress you. You would have been more impressed if she had been honest about it. And I was part of the team, but I was a key contributor, and I made valuable contributions. Maybe that's a better way of saying than saying I was leading it, even if you have not been leading it. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. That's what I mean. Yep. So, because sometimes, whenever we interview candidates, we'll know whether they are being, very, honest with their answers, or they're trying to cook up something. Because
it's easy to find out whether someone is honest or they're cooking up. I am leading. I am doing this, or I have done this. So we're not training students to tell fibs and all of that, but they need to tell the truth, but they can tell impressive truths.
Yes. It all comes down to how well you put out your story. So that's what even I keep telling my students. You should be a very good storyteller, but involve facts in that.
Yeah. So if you are, if you want to say in an interview that you have led, you have been a leader in a team or something, there are only two ways. One, please try and lead something yourself and try and achieve that, and then talk about it if you can. Even if it is a small thing, try and talk about it. Do it really, but don't try to cook up stories there, because that will not fly. People will be able to immediately find out.
Exactly.
And then you will be cornered. They will try to corner you. It will just be they may not say it there in the interview, but they will definitely know that you are fibbing. Okay.
Very true, sir.
All right. What else? Anything else? From the role play perspective, what went well or what didn't go well? Or were you happy with the role play?
Yes, sir. I am happy with the role play, sir. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, it might have felt a bit short because we thought we'll complete both, the ops round and the HR round, one after the
Are you
other in a
prepared for
sequence.
the HR round also today, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, if time permits, we can, go.
Okay,
right
we'll
away.
see that. But if you're okay, yeah, because I don't see a lot of teams participating, so we might as well. I mean, I'd rather spend time with people who are keen to spend time here, right? So
Sure.
than calling out and waiting and all of that. So we'll be productive. So fine. So let's now take some inputs or feedback from Saujanya, and then I will speak.
Sure.
Saujanya, thank you, Abhilash. So Saujanya, what do you think?
I think it went well, sir. But as you said, the answer which I gave, like by leading a team, so even I felt that I shouldn't have answered that. But considering the last interview which happened, so I had already told that I'm leading a team there. So there also the same question had arisen. So I just wanted to continue the same, saying that I should not drop out from that track. So I wanted to continue the same, and I answered. But yes, there are some chances where you get cornered or you get caught in that situation. Maybe if they try to dig up more things. But most of the times, what I suggest for my students also, when you clear two technical rounds, when it comes to manager, all that manager could see is the potential in you, not how good you are good at coding or something. All the codes, as I said, there are so many platforms that you can identify or try to find out the answers, or you can, as I said, like you can research a lot of things. If you sit in the front of the system like just for 1 hour, you find out a lot of things which you can source for 1 year almost. So all that manager wants to check is how confident you are, or how good you are at, or how enthusiastic are you in a team when it comes to things. So how well can you deal with the situation? So in that case, I think I have got justice to the role play.
Okay. Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to, in the flow, I wanted to mention is all the questions were very standard questions. Whatever he asked, nothing was a surprise question. Oh my God, he's asked this question. How do I answer? That feeling was not there. So when the questions are very standard, I think there is enough and more time for the students to prepare for it before they come for the interview. Even if it is like, have you done a lead? What have you done? So if you want to say that you have led a project or something like that, you might as well pick up something where you have really led a team and then build the story around that and talk about it and impress the audience. It's
Yes.
not like you have to think on the toes during the time of interview.
That's
You
right.
should be well prepared before that, at least with all these standard questions. There are a set of standard 10 questions, and more often than not, most of the interview will revolve around those questions typically.
True, sir.
Right? So it's just about how you prepare yourself. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Usually, my input for this is no, sir. Managers don't have so much of time to just go through their resumes because they would have already cleared 2 rounds. So all they check is for confidence or how good fit you could be in the team. So that is what potentially they try to check in. So what I have heard from my managers, or when they're trying to interview also, there'll be some set of standard questions which will be asked. So when you're prepared for that and you're confident enough, I think you'll be able to definitely clear that.
Correct. Correct. What else? What are your other thoughts?
Uh, yeah, that's it, sir. Maybe if you had to ask some other questions, you could have gone through. But again, it comes to career growth, how it goes. But when you're talking with the manager, again, if you're asking the career growth and you again tell them saying that you have to get into manager position, it might be quite offensive when you talk about that thing. Like I don't know how personally would they take it. So I didn't want to go. trigger any question at that time. So that's what I felt.
Sorry, come again. Sorry, come again. It's an interesting point. What is that you're saying? Can you?
So, sir, when a manager is taking an interview, no, sir. So, for example, myself being a manager or Abhilash being a Divakar position, he would have taken 15 years of time to get into that position. Me being a fresher and going into his stores and telling him like saying that I want to become manager in another 5 years or 6 years, that would be a triggering question for them also. It would be a challenging thing for them also. Like that might lead for a question. So instead of
So
that, I
this
think
was in career goals when he
in
asked
career
for.
goals. Yeah.
Instead of that,
So
so
instead of that, maybe like when they ask if you have any other questions, I think it's better to like admit saying that you don't have any other questions, because whatever questions you'll have, it will be addressed in HR round, because in HR round mostly they'll explain everything. So I just wanted to make sure that students also understand that you don't question anything to manager, because again you'll be cornered at that point.
Okay. Is that correct, Abhilash? I want Abhilash to respond
Not
to this.
not always, sir. I mean, let's say, being
Depending.
a manager, yeah. I mean, even managers would expect, some questions from the candidate to understand whether they are well prepared or not. Because whenever you go to an interview, you are also supposed to take few questions with you. But you should be considerate enough to to figure out whether that particular question is relevant or not. Because when you talk to somebody, you will be able to gauge, what kind of a question, what kind of a person they are. So, directly saying that, okay, in my career goal is to basically be a developer, and probably after in the next 8 to 10 years, I want to become a technical manager. Even that is fine. I don't think any manager would get offended based on that, because the duration taken to become a manager, it depends on company to company, and also the individual's performance. Not everybody will take like 15 years to become a manager, because we have seen the people becoming managers even after working for just 8 years. So that depends.
Sorry to interrupt, Abhilash, but thing is, like, I've seen my managers telling this after coming from interview. They said, "Oh, even this guy wants to become a manager in another 5 years. It took us 15 years to become manager." So I have heard this personally. So I just mentioned
again, individual perspective.
Individually, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. So, Saujanya, you are saying you have heard your managers saying that when they have conducted some interviews. That's the reason. So, yeah, so fair enough. Your spirit is fine. Your spirit of not offending the person who is interviewing you is good. Yes, you have to be sensitive to that. So, therefore, when you know that this is an operations interview, and if you have that kind of apprehension that I don't, if I ask this question, maybe they will be offended, or if I answer career goals in this fashion, they may be offended. Then in that case, you need to prepare accordingly. So if they ask you for career goals, obviously he wants to know what your career goals are, right? You can't say, I don't have any career goals.
No, sir, I'm not telling about career goals. Sir, career goals, yes, they will definitely expect something out of you. But when they ask do you have any questions for me? So,
so I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. So first is career goals for each, say for instance, for the technical round, for the operations round, and for the HR round. The spirit should be the same of what you want to achieve in your career, but the way you answer it can be a little different, tailored to that audience. So that is one. And if they say, do you have any questions for us, you should always have some questions, because that demonstrates your enthusiasm and your eagerness about that role. I mean, that is a standard, it's a very standard thing. If you say, I don't have any questions, it doesn't, I mean, somewhere you feel, okay, I think maybe she should have asked some questions and things like that.
Okay.
So maybe you should have, so I'm not saying ask these questions, but ask something else. Ask something else which will make that person feel good about you and about your candidature, basically. Right?
Sure, sir.
So your spirit is fine. Your spirit of not trying to offend is fine, but that doesn't mean you put yourself in a shell and not come out properly. That will also be noticed.
Yeah.
That will also be noticed, right? So that's the point. All right. So that was one thing. And yeah, I had a few. So what I liked about the whole thing was, okay, now before I mention, what are the ratings? Can we get some ratings from the audience in the chat? Until I ask them, nobody is even involved in this whole thing. Until I ask, nobody wants to respond in the chat. But when they can't hear, they will write. So I want some ratings and some who wants to speak for them. I mean, your impression of this role play. Anybody wants to participate and share their insights or impressions of the role play? 7 out of 10. Altaf is, yeah, every time he also responds. So 7 out of 10. Okay, who else wants to respond? Who else wants to respond? Okay, I'm not going to keep on asking who will respond, who will respond. If they want to, they will respond. Okay, it's for all the students and all the L2s, everybody. Okay, now, Saujanya, did you see any difference between the previous interview and this interview? What is the difference that you noticed? That, was it more or less the same, or we said the previous one was a technical or semi-technical kind of an interview, and this is more of an operations interview. So what was the difference? Can you highlight the difference? Did you understand any difference? Did you see any difference?
Well, yes, sir. But getting into a technical part, yes. So the manager and the technical person who takes interview, definitely they'll be triggering some kind of technical question. But moving on to operations, as I said, so a manager will check your capabilities because there will be a rating which will be given from the previous person saying that this person would have got this rating out of 10. So depending on that profile, he will try to trigger the questions. So what generally they do is they try to explain what kind of project, because they'll have an idea like to what streamline or to what under which person or under which team should they be put into. So they'll try to understand or analyze how the candidate is. So first thing is that because technical person doesn't do this. Their work is to just conduct the interview and make sure the candidate is potential. But here, this kind of a differentiation will be done. So in saying that generally manager will have an idea saying that okay, if this person is placed into this particular project, maybe he'll be a good asset there, or how it leads, or what kind of requirement was there by talking to them, and they'll try to explain, as Abhilash asked, like a few questions about this contractual role, because the previous person would not be knowing whether it would be a contractual role or a permanent role. So they'll be telling all those. Yeah, that's the difference major.
Okay. So can some of the students explain this? Did they understand this, or because they need to understand this? Who amongst the students will speak up and explain this, please? Are there any students today participating, by the way? Can I see some students talking now? Who is there? So either they're not understanding anything, or we're just doing it for. Saujanya, are you looking out for a job or something, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are. So Abhilash, are you looking for some job change and all of that?
Probably.
No, I'm just asking because this whole exercise will be for our benefit. Nobody else will be. So if the students are not participating, it's okay. We'll do it for ourselves. We have the time, and we have all the more the time we have, we can practice. Right? If the students don't participate, I can't help it.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, students or the other L2s, whoever wants to if they have not understood, or if they have some questions, they can speak up now and share their views, like Altaf is doing sometimes, and others can also speak up, right? So there are so many participants. What are they all doing? I'm just wondering what they're doing. There is Kionics Hubli, Kionics Vaishali Computers, and there is Sridevi Technology, Kionics Belgavi. All of these, what are they doing here? I don't understand. There has to be some interaction, right? There has to be some, just the three of us are talking, and maybe one person is just saying 7 on 10. So it's just the 4 of us having a party here, right? What about the others? Are you understanding? Do you see the benefit of this? If you have, please share some of your thoughts. Okay. So I will not repeat this. In the meantime, if in the center or in the middle of the conversation, if you want to interject and share your thoughts, anybody can do it. I'm giving you a free hand. You can unmute yourself and speak up, right? So let's go ahead. Okay, so the thing that I liked about your interview, the role play, the thing that you will, I think the involvement, both of you were involved in that discussion. So this is for the students. That involvement will happen only when you are confident with your subject and you know what you are going there for. So Saujanya was at least 70-80%. You should be clear, what is this role about? What am I getting into? Am I qualified for this role? Otherwise, that involvement will not happen, right? You will be just going for a job, some or the other, by hook or by crook. Let me get this job. Coding and all, we will do it later on once the job is there. Anyway, they're going to give some training. And I just want a good package. And that if that is the attitude, it's not going to really help. But if you are involved, you know what you are, you should respect yourself, right? You should respect your capabilities, and you should know what you're getting into. If that is there, involvement will automatically happen, right? I'm not saying, so this is not for you, Sojani. I mean, I'm just generally, I'm just kind of
got it.
evaluating the role play. So the point is, you may be appearing for 10 interviews, 10 different companies. I'm not saying all 10 of them you will be equally involved. It's not possible, because some roles you will like more than the others, but nevertheless, because you want to get a job and you don't know which one you will get, it's okay. I mean, it's okay to appear for 10 different interviews, but at least get some involvement into that interview, each one that you appear. If you're not, if some role you're just going just for the heck of it and just for some practice, I don't know, then it's okay. But in general, if you're really eager to get a job, at least 80% of the time you should be involved in all the interviews, right? And that involvement will come with preparation before the interview. And these questions, everything is there. The questions are standard. Did he ask any out of the world questions, Saujanya? Were you expecting all these questions?
Expecting, yes, sir. Generally, as I said, like when you do some small kind of research, you'll definitely get to know that nothing is posted, sir. You just go to Quora and ask what kind of questions have been asked, or how typical it would be, or get into Glassdoor and check for some of the opinions. You'll definitely get to know what it is, so that you can rehearse yourself in front of the mirror just for 5 minutes at least. I mean, we didn't have a conversation between both of us because we just wanted to make sure that it is realistic. By sharing the questions or by sharing the answers, what would have happened? We would have tried to say the same thing. If we are trying to forget, also we would try to recollect it. I didn't want to do that, so that's why we didn't have a discussion. So hence, would generally in common we just said, okay, you just go through the standard operation questions or how the manager talks. So moreover, like I wanted to say, like since we are like already in IT, so we can expect such questions. But for students, maybe I think it would be a little difficult. But as I said, you can do a little research, or as you already have a platform like this now, so you can get to know how things work. Or you can always ask your particular L2 or L1 is also there.
So the whole exercise is being done right now so that they know these questions. Now at least they know these questions.
Yes, sir.
So if they were participating or if they look at the recording later on, you know the kind of questions they will get, and you will get a hang of what kind of questions might be asked. It's not very difficult, right? It's not very difficult. So ideally they should be participating in this session. If they are not, at least when they see the recording, you can make a note of the kind of questions. There may be one or two surprise questions, excuse me, always. But 80-90% they'll be the standard questions. Tell me about yourself. What projects have you done? What are your career goals? Why do you want to join the company? All of these questions. And I think in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions, we've been discussing all of these things. There's nothing new about this. By now, the students, I think, if nothing, at least they should know what questions will be asked in the interview, right? At least the 70-80%. Okay, so that was one involvement. Okay, the difference between tech and operations was also made clear. The other thing I liked was I think both of you were well dressed for the interview, so it creates an impression. It's not a casual thing. I mean that I'm saying. It creates an impression to see Abhilash. Even when we are doing this role play, you are taken more seriously. Your versus if you had come in your t-shirt or okay, it's a some session and then we'll do it, and you had come in your other casual whatever attire. It creates that impression and that seriousness, that ambience, right? So that's how it helps. So I don't think I need to emphasize that for everybody. So this is for everybody, right? One of the few observations. So your career goals question, I think you fumbled. You should prepare better for it, which is okay. I mean, all the interview can't be 100%, always. So, but if you've made it, there's scope for improvement. If you realize, we discussed that. Okay, why this company? That again, I think. What did you answer for that question? Why this company? Why are you joining this company? Yeah, you said it's an honor. It's nice to feel great about the company, and I'll be honored and I'll be all that. Yeah, that is fine. But at the same time, you also need to value yourself. I bring this, and that company is a great company which is working. So it's a win-win for both of us. It's not like I'm just waiting to join this company. If this doesn't happen, it's like my dream partner that I'm getting. No, I'm not like that, right? Even in dream partner also, it's a win-win situation, right? It's not about you getting that, and what is it that you are also bringing. You should have that self-esteem. I think that maybe you can emphasize that a little more. I'll be honored to join this company, is fine. Along with that, tell them why they will be benefited by having you join that organization, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The other thing I noticed was, see, Abhilash was very all through. Did you notice anything about him, Saujanya?
In which manner, sir?
Okay, expressions wise, who will answer this in the from the students or from any of the L2s? What did you the difference between Abhilash's expressions and Saujanya's expressions? What did anyone notice anything? You were seeing, everybody was seeing both of them talk. So who will answer this? Who will answer this? Let's see in the chat box. Has someone done some?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Don't ask me, can we speak, sir? Because I'm not able to, go to chat and all. Just unmute yourself and speak. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat the question, sir?
Okay, the question is, what was the difference in expressions that you saw between Abhilash and Saujanya, the interviewer and the interviewee?
As per means they are well in their sectors. Means interview section, they are how they are interacting, that is good, and as per interview, they are handled in a good manner.
No, that is fine, Kavita. You're Kavita, right?
No, sir, Jyoti.
Sorry, Jyoti. Kavita Computers, right?
Yes.
Because you don't pronounce yourself, how will I know? All right. So, so the point is, I'm asking what. So, did you see any expression on what was the general expression of Saujanya while she was doing the role play, and what was the general expression, the facial expression of Abhilash?
While Abhilash sir saying very serious about their interview section, and as per ma'am, little bit not that much I felt.
She was not serious, or she was serious?
she was serious, but little bit something I felt not that much.
No, what did you use the right word? You felt she was what? She was giggling, she was smiling. What was she doing?
She, ma'am was somewhere smiling. I felt.
Yeah, so that is one more thing you all should have observed. See, the interviewer, the person who is interviewing may not be always, laughing and smiling. If it's nice, I mean, generally we don't know, right? I mean, who will come? He was very courteous, but he was all the time there was no expression as such. He was not. Both the expressions were not matching. She was smiling a lot of time, and she was also being very forthcoming and all of that. Abhilash did not intentionally open up, right? He did not. If he starts giggling and smiling along with her, it will become very casual, right? So he was maintaining that, but at the same time, he was not being rude. He was being very. He was just to the point, and he was observing everything. If you notice, he was observing everything, but he was very. I wouldn't say serious, but he was having a different demeanor, right? So, which is what I wanted you to observe. It's not that always it will be like that, but most of the time you can expect that the interviewer will be like that, which does not mean they are friendly or unfriendly or whatever it is. It's just that they're observing you, right? But Saujanya was, I think she was more open. She was also smiling a lot, and if it's a friendly conversation, you will smile, right? I mean, if it's a casual conversation, if one person smiles, the other will also smile, and it will be a nice conversation. But here there is a certain you can expect that. That's what I'm trying to highlight. There's nothing right or wrong about it. It's just that you can expect something like this. So you should not get the students should not get put off. Oh, they're not smiling, I'm smiling, and what will they feel? And she was also not over the board. She was not giggling. She was being pleasant. She was being pleasant, which is okay, because she has appeared for the job, and he's interviewing, so he's on the upper pedestal. So there is that difference that you can notice. All right. The last thing that I wanted to highlight was, I think I already spoke. No questions. That was not very nice. I did not like that. When you said no questions, you should be prepared with a few questions for this person. Few questions for the HR, few questions for him, and few questions for that person, for the technical person. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else wants to share before we proceed further? Good. I think I like this role play. At least we're having quality role play being done for the benefit of students. Students, are you liking this? Do you want like this, or if you don't want, let us know. We'll stop this. Bilash sir was having exactly the professional kind of expressions that is like what a manager should have. Even ma'am was serious, but in between she was showing like it's a role play. Okay, maybe that's his reading. Okay, fine. So students, you have to tell us if you're liking this, and if you want this kind of a role play. If you don't want it, or if you don't respond, we will assume whatever we want to assume, right? So you will have to let us know either in the chat or otherwise. Okay, let me look at the more chat. No, nobody is chatting. Okay, so we did a few role plays, and then Abhilash and Saujanya have done two, where one was the technical and now it is the operational one. We will proceed further. Who else is going to participate today? Anyone else? If nobody else is there, then we'll go ahead with the HR round. With the HR round, you may need some time to take a break or something, or you're okay to start off.
How about
2 minutes.
Sorry?
Just give us 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you don't need a big break, right? You're okay
No.
with even if we start. Okay,
Yeah.
meanwhile, I'll ask you can prepare for it. I mean, in whatever ways you want to. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask these others who are present here. All these black boxes that I see with the icons of people. Someone has to talk, okay? I'm getting bored. Who's going to speak? Altaf, you are the next bet. So I think you also speak. So Altaf can speak. You have a nice picture of yours. You and Tahir you have pictures. Altaf can share his insights. Yes, Altaf, go ahead. Where are you? You're in some institute, looks like.
Altaf, we can't hear you. So.
No, I'm saying Altaf, we can. Yeah, I was asking Altaf. Altaf, we can't hear you, by the way. Are you in an yeah? You're in some center. Okay. You seem to be in a very nice place. Is that a restaurant or where are you? Can't hear you. No, can't hear you. Okay, you fix your mic, whatever. Somebody else can speak in the meantime. Tahir was also there, but he's now put his picture. Madan Kumar, Asset System Raichur. Who is this? Madan Kumar. Then Shrungaditya, SDM, Karkala. Only picture. Others are all just names. Altaf, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself. No. Okay. Tahir, can you unmute yourself and speak? Okay, who else?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is your feedback, response? How did you like this whole thing? Or what is your... I want to hear something from you.
Yes, sir. Abhilash was very professional in asking the question related to the operations requirement that they have it. And Saujanya is a little bit what you can say, generalizing the answers that she's giving.
Okay.
And
so are you having
Abhilash,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Abhilash was actually trying to make an offer of a recruitment that he wants it, and Saujanya is trying to get that offer as a fresher. Actually, Abhilash is actually asking them as with a experienced candidate.
No, I didn't get your point. So he's asking a fresher, but he's asking a fresh experienced candidate. What is the point you're trying to make?
Saujanya is acting like a fresher, as Abhilash is asking for a experienced candidate.
Is that so, Abhilash?
No, sir. I mean, I did.
No, I think maybe you
initially
missed out.
He mentioned we need an operation person position.
No. I said I am an operations manager, and for this particular team, I just explained the hierarchy of the team that is currently present. Like there is a senior person already, but we are looking for junior testers.
Yeah, so maybe you missed that, Tahir. So that's okay. That's fine. Not an issue. But tell me one thing. So Tahir, you are an L2, and how about your students? Are they here today, or they're not there today?
Yes, sir. They are at the center. Some of them.
Okay. So my question to you is, since the students are not answering, I want to ask you: is this of any help? This role play, is it helping the students at all, or should we do this or should we not do this? That's my question.
Yes, sir. We actually have planned to go with the real experience of the experience in the nearby tech park, where there are startup companies where we can actually test their capabilities for giving the interviews.
Okay.
And we also spoke with one of the company who is allowing us to give the interviews in coming days. So where we wanted to check whether it has been effectively, imparted on them. They have given the feedback that it is helping. But I have just tested as a person here, So we are not taken them to a real environment. So I want them to feel the real person who is actually
Yeah, so
taking the
real
interview.
person means a mock real, or you're doing, I mean, you want them to appear for real interviews, or you want them to appear for mock interviews in a real scenario?
No, sir, I want them to give a real interview, because almost all of them are graduates.
So real interviews they will give only when they get that opportunity, right? How are they getting that opportunity to give real interviews? They have been called for interviews?
No, sir, there is an opportunity.
Okay, wonderful.
There is an
If they have
opportunity.
an opportunity,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
so are they having? So if they are, so they you're saying they are having an opportunity to appear for an interview,
them,
and
yes.
if they perform well, they will be selected for a job.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's wonderful. But are they preparing for it? How are they preparing for it? This whole thing is about that only, no?
Yes, sir. They are preparing with respect to the things that you and the simulations are happening.
Okay.
As well as I'll also be training them with the aptitude questions and all online.
Okay.
And they'll be preparing the background with the specific position that they're going for.
Okay, so you are saying all this is helping them prepare for it. That's what you're
Yes,
saying,
sir.
right?
Yes,
Okay,
I agree.
that's good to hear. Good to hear. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Altaf seems to be back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Altaf. Thank you, Tahir. Thanks.
Okay. So my opinion on this role play was like overall it was like good. The rating was given by me 7 for 10, and the things like yeah, what my thing is like both should have been prepared a bit when come for an the operations round. Operations round, the prepared in the sense like the few more the other detailed questions on operations, how it happened. Initially, Abhilash was explaining what the nature of role, what it could be. All these things went on. But what I'm thinking is that the one which it has to be told, or is there might be any extra thing which could be told? But in the conversation, Abhilash was like telling that because of NDA we cannot disclose much of the work nature. The operation we need not to disclose anything about the project, who is the client, what exactly and all. But still, the role, what role Saujanya has to be done. It was a testing role. So what kind of like testing? It will be a manual or what? So that could have been a bit elaborated. That's what.
So sorry to interrupt you, Altaf. So Abhilash, did you say because of NDA I will not be able to disclose details of the role, or what was it that you were saying?
No, about the project. Yes.
About the project.
About the project, basically about the name and all of that. Yeah, that
yes,
he cannot
exactly.
disclose, right? So he can't tell how many people.
Yes, yes, of course, I agree. I agree on that.
Yeah, that's what he meant. So other things I think he explained, right? He was talking about what can the role be and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't mention, the mobile application testing will be there. Initially, it will be manual, then we'll move on to, automation testing also. So that bit I explained.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, so maybe that point was not that valid, but I mean your point. That point is not, because I think he was okay to
I
say
think,
that.
sir, we also told that you'll be able to you'll have to prepare on much tools on the fly. So we need a person who is more enthusiastic, or the person who learns.
Yeah. So
So
what is the
that
point
was
you're trying to make? So what was it?
So I think it was a bit clear. That is what usually managers say, sir. Not
Yes.
that they don't
Yes,
give out much, because as I've seen Abhilash taking interviews, so there is some NDA which has
yes.
which should not be explained. But even though
Yes.
I've heard candidates asking, with the transport we give in, will they give food coupons? All those things, even though
Sorry, will the food coupons be given transport?
yeah,
See,
for the
these are
manager
actually,
round.
Employee benefits.
interview,
Yeah.
these are all very flimsy questions to ask.
Yeah, I have seen people asking such questions in operations rounds. So I don't want to make any kind of, as I said, maybe that is why, because of my personal experience, I didn't want to ask any other questions. Not that I couldn't have prepared.
No.
But for the fresh. No. No, sir. No, Altaf sir.
No,
No,
not for you,
what
Altaf.
you're
I
telling
think
is correct, Saujanya. I agree on that. You should not, in operations round, that is not the one which you should be asking. The questions should be much elaborated on what Abhilash was telling about the mobile testing and all those things. Yes, that is the apt one which it should be then. Apart from that, nothing. In operations round, nobody will ask about.
So
what
whether
I
you will
kept
get
in
food
mind.
coupons, whether you will get food coupons, whether there will be transport and all of that.
Facility.
Maybe when you get to, I mean, so in
HR.
today's scenario, maybe in the HR round, if there is
HR
a
round, it
situation,
happens.
you can possibly ask about transport, because they are elaborating some of the company policies. That also you should ask in a very polished way, not will I be able to save money by getting food coupons? Will I? You don't want to sound very um, you don't want to come across as a person who's only calculating those things. You want to sound like a person who's eager to do a good role in the company, and you are career oriented. These are all incidental things. Travel will be there, or will I get food coupons? Will I get overtime? If after 7, will I? Those are policies which you should know, and there is a right place and time to ask for those things. Not during these interviews.
That's what, sir. As I mentioned, that's my personal experience. Like, I've heard people asking managers such questions, so that is why I didn't want to prompt any kind of a question there.
Good,
so I
good
just
you
made
brought
sure.
it up, because I think your students, all the students who are listening to this, they should also make a note of that.
Yes.
What to ask and what not to ask. Just because they've asked you, you have any questions for me, doesn't mean that you ask anything.
And I've heard people also asking, like, just that manager says you'll have to go to client place and sit and work, so that they ask, is there any extra allowance which has been provided, or should we go regularly, or how is it? All that comes to place when you're inside the company. So it depends on how you talk to your manager, how you complete your deadlines, or how task is being finished from you. So, but such questions should not be addressed.
Should not be asked if you are keen on getting that job. If you're very sure, if there is not something, if that is not going to be given, and if I have to go there, and if you're sure no, I will not do, then it's your choice, the student's choice. But don't ask those silly questions if you're really keen on getting that job. Right now, your focus as a candidate who's done some education and all of that, you're ideally you should be wanting to do some good roles in a good company, and if everything else is fine in your life, you should take up some good roles, right, without worrying too much about these things, right? And someone was talking about work-life balance in the earlier some of the sessions. I think the students work-life balance, not at this stage, you're not looking at work-life balance, right? Unless you're preparing for the Olympics along with your or something else, right? Or you're a star performer in something else and you want to devote time for that as well. All I'm trying to say is make your questions very relevant and intelligent questions, which make you sound like a person who's looking at going somewhere in the future, right? Not like it's just another job I'm getting into. All right. Yeah, Altaf, any other points you wanted to make?
Yes, not the points, but I need if clarification or your inputs on that. Since Saujanya is being recruited not for the direct payroll, she is coming for an contractual job. So what are the better questions could be asked, like, to the company, because she's giving interview to the company, not to the agency or the contractor. So what are the better questions related to that she can ask?
That very nicely. She asked, okay, so initially it is a contract, but based on performance, you will kind of make it without sounding too intrusive in that whole policy of contract and all of that. I think she cleverly maneuvered that question. Other things, everything else won't remain the same. It is just that it is a contract. Just because it's a contract role doesn't mean she's going to perform differently versus
that's not the question. So what are the other the questions which could be asked to the employer, to the real the workplace, and not to the contractor, to the company where she's working? For example, ABC Consulting is hiring Saujanya and posting it to Oracle or HP company. Okay. So in that case, Saujanya, what kind of questions related to that she can ask on better way? Because I'm not sure, because I never came across those.
That is what I'm saying. I'm saying the questions will all remain the same. There is no difference in a question whether it is a contract role or unless you want to clarify the contract issue. But otherwise, the questions will be the same that she has to ask. She has to maybe ask about career progression. She has to maybe ask about if at the right time there are some training opportunities, if that comes about. Or she has to ask about what are the aspirations of this particular team, where does and larger questions like about the company. If it's a big, huge MNC, I don't think you should be asking about what is the vision of the company and all that. You better find out from the website, right?
Yes.
But the vision of this team, this project, where does this project fit in the whole gamut of Oracle or other company, whatever the company is, right? I mean, a similar company. You can ask those kind of questions.
Okay.
See, because just because it's a contract role, that doesn't
Yeah, the
make
technical
you
skills
any
will
less.
remain same. The technical and the operations, everything will remain the same. That I
Right.
understand. But anything else which you can suggest or you can share with us, like, it is a better way of approach when you are going for a contract. I mean, you're going from a consultancy to a company or a direct payroll, or how it happens. Like, is there what is the your inputs like?
No, my answer is the same. You're asking me the question. Your question is. Your
Anil sir,
question.
1 second.
Yeah, Sajani.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Altaf sir, you mean like what else could have been asked, right?
Yes, yes. By you, what else you
what
could
else
have
could
been
have?
asked?
So
You been
keeping
asked
me
is,
as a perspective, yeah, got it,
yeah.
sir. So I will answer as far as I know. So thing is like usually we don't pretend to ask in the manager round. So as Anil sir said, there will be HR round. So HRs will be the point of contact for any kind of a purpose or any kind of a question to be asked. So I think maybe we'll take up this in some time. So any particular question in specific to be asked from me, I will make sure that it's a question there, not to the manager, because managers like depends not from the alliance perspective, as I said. So the food cookers or whatever, because the contractors will also have some slight of difference in a full-time employee and the contract, because the medical benefits what they get, or the leaves what they get, or the payroll also there will be a quite differentiation, because contractors get in hand more, full-time employees get a little bit less. So that kind of a differentiation will also be there. So I think we'll be covering most of those questions in HR part. So yeah, if something has to be added, you can just put in there. So, yeah.
Was that the question? Was that the kind of question you were looking at, Alta?
Yes, sir. So what kind of apart from the technical discussion, so what Saujanya could have asked, like, regarding since she is coming from the consultancy to the company, not a direct not the direct payroll. So what are the questions or any the questions are there to get asked if she's coming from consultancy to?
Sorry, somebody is speaking. Somebody else was speaking. No. Yeah. So those questions, like she pointed out, I think
it will be discussed coming in the next
HR. And also it depends on whether she's herself prepared for that role or not. So if it is a sudden surprise in the operations role that, oh, so this is going to be a contract, I don't know. I mean, if that is the situation, then she should do that homework and come back with those questions in a proper way. If now it depends whether she really wants that job or she's not okay with that kind of a role. If she wants a role with a company as a direct employee only, then her thing will be different. But if she's prepared for a contract role, then she should ask her questions in a matter of fact way, which means to say that she should be asking them to clarify what is the difference, not about, oh, I won't get that, it is going to be less. Okay, so that's not something that I was expecting. That thing should not come through in the discussion with the personnel from the company or whoever is interviewing her. Basically, she should clarify. At some point of time, she has the right to clarify what will be the benefits she will get. What are the other things, what is the difference? Maybe she can ask, so how is it different? Would you be kind enough to elaborate on those? And then the HR person will explain all those differences.
Okay,
right?
just allow me 2 minutes. I will tell you one brief incident happened with me. I was working for a company for a long time, and then they deputed me to a client place, which is in Bangalore itself. Okay, let me repeat. I was working in a company as an employee. The company deputed me to another the client place to go and work for a month or 2 months time. So I was working there. So what happens is the employee of the client's employees, they were like, don't have any specific time. They're all, but we are working as a team. But what happens is we have to collaborate with that team member of them, and we were working. And they don't have any specific time sheets to fill or anything like that. They were just like coming, discussing on the meetings, and just they go off, they vanish for some time, and then they will come, and then they will do as per their timings. But since I was like coming from the other company, so they will be making me note it, or they will make note of my timings, like what happened, everything would be like much processed. but the same team member belongs to their own company, that process will not get followed strictly. So that was the kind of like, the partiality being happened. Then I told to my company, like, I'm not going to sit and work there. Give me the task, ask them to sit here. I will also do that. See, that was my initial few years before. I was like, it happened
I
to
want
me.
to clarify. So company A is your employee and company B is a client of company A, right?
Yes.
A is your employer. A is your employer.
A is my employer. A
And
sent
B,
me to the B company.
B company on what? You are doing a project for B company, or
Yes,
it is
I'm doing a project for a B company.
No, not you. The project is,
I mean,
so company A is doing a project for B, company B?
Yes.
Okay,
Company
fine, fair enough.
B wants a project. So company B is paying to company A.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
Okay. So company A's resource went to company B.
Okay.
The resource of company B will be enjoying the sense they will not follow the strictly of any of the protocols on the works criteria.
Okay.
But me sitting the A company employee sitting in company B, they will be strictly monitored.
By whom? By company B?
By company B. By company
Yeah,
B,
because they're paying money to company A, no? Because they're paying company A for the project and they want to make sure that they're getting the resource to work.
But there was like kind of a much partiality being happened.
There might be. So yeah, so in that, so the general answer, maybe it's a very, very specific thing and maybe we can discuss this separately,
Yes.
but in the interest of the students and all of this, I mean the topic.
Because this is how the industry works. See, you recruit a company, you will be thinking I'll be seated here for, till my employee, but in between, it depends on the project, they might depute to other places also as well.
So my point is, see, since you are representing company A and you are doing a project on for company B, right? And you're an employee of company A. So you have to. So these differences might be there. Your treatment there. Don't expect that company B will completely treat you at par with their employees because they have hired company A to do that project for them. Right? They have hired them. There might be some differences, big or small, that will depend from situation to, it will vary from situation to situation, right? It is not surprising. It is not surprising. Sometimes it also happens the opposite. Company A might have very strict policies, but company B will have very relaxed policies which are applicable even for the people who come and do their projects. They get a lot of benefits because they're doing projects there. They enjoy a lot of, what is it called? Maybe facilities in company B because they have come there to do the projects. Like they may be getting free food, they may be getting free transportation, a lot of those things which possibly many of them would have been also discussed in the contract between company A and company B. So these differences may not be there. So what is your question? Is it fair to have those differences or not?
So that's what that is the question is like, if it happens, like how to luckily I got again come back to my company itself, and I was working for some projects, and then the project got over and it all fine. What if I've been deputed to the company till the project goes on? The company tells you are one of the resources which you have to be there in company B and do work, which I'm not comfortable.
So in that case, your only resort is to go back. If it is very extremely uncomfortable, you will have to possibly go back to company and switch your project. Maybe you'll have to do that. That's the only thing. No, I mean, you cannot dictate company B for.
No, we can't dictate. So how to place myself was the question.
If it is extremely uncomfortable, you will have to talk to your company, saying that maybe you can find some other project and get on to some other project and finish this, whatever role you're doing, and then find another role for you in some other project and get to that project. Because anyway, it's a project, right? It's a project B, it could be some other company C. And this is a real situation. Yeah, a lot of times it happens. Definitely it happens. But it's beyond your control, right? Sometimes
See, for my sake, company. Correct. True, Anil sir. So because of me, Altaf say company A will not, tell that will not do this particular project or will not. If Altaf is not there, they will replace with some other resource and the project will go on. Company will not stop doing the project. So company will go on. So how Altaf has to, tackle the situation is the question which I was like asking.
No, sometimes company A, it also depends on the contract between the company A and B, right? If there are certain terms, even company A will also be concerned about their employees. right? It's not like they have to just find a project and put that person on that project by hook or by crook, right? It's also a matter of what kind of projects company A wants to do, and it depends on if it is a one-off case, it is fine. But if it is a regular thing where the employees of company A feel very stifled in that kind of an environment, company A will also think about it, right? I mean, they may not want to get into those kind of projects very often. Maybe one-off case is fine. So it all depends on those kind of so yeah, I mean, the point that you're bringing out is good for the students in this, coming back to our topic of discussion. It is good for students to know that there could be those kind of projects and there could be those kind
there
of
are scenarios might happen. We
correct,
never know.
correct.
But scenarios might happen. Scenarios might happen. So they should not be surprised.
Yeah. Anyone else has any thoughts on this? Saujanya or Abhilash or anyone? Or I think we can proceed.
Not sure what could have been done in that case. Like when you're placed into that kind of a situation, maybe you can report it to your manager immediately saying that these things are not working out for me. So yeah, so that's the only alternative, sir, because you can't get it to a friend or somebody else. Yeah,
would be to go back to your manager, your company, explain that this is the situation. Can we do something to improve this as a company, or if nothing can be done, can I be shifted to some other project?
Okay, got it. Right. This is the one which I want to develop. So what is the best act to move on?
What did you do, by the way? So what did you do, by the way?
No, I went and told to my things, sir, till when this project is going to go on the contract. I mean, company A to company B. They told another 1.5 to 2 months is there. I said, sir, after 2 months, please don't extend. If the extension happens, please replace this one. So as you told, I'll be going for another 1.5 months to let the project get complete. After that, I'm coming back. So if any process come, if any other new initiative comes to the company, I will be coming into that one. But don't extend in this company for that particular project. That's what I told. I mean, for me, I was like,
so you will give your feedback. Basically, you're giving your feedback about your experience working on that project to your company, and you're sharing that experience. So company A will also be cognizant of that, and then they will make proper changes to the contract or whatever if required going forward for the next project. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. What else? Are we ready with the HR round? Anything else, Altaf, you want to share, or are we ready with the HR round?
No, not. I'm done with. But what I got from Shweta ma'am is, I think there is one more team, I believe. Shweta ma'am, is there any other team? I'm just asking on behalf of you, sir. Like, because I had a chat with Shweta ma'am, they told me there's one other team. I'm not sure. So
I think Altaf said 3 more teams should have.
Yes, there are a few more teams, Saujanya ma'am.
So they can come. Why is it a mystery? It can be all there on the chat, no? I mean, if someone wants to participate, they can be on the chat.
So just for my clarification, I had a chat with Shweta ma'am.
Yeah, Ashwin, Afreen, they are ready. I'll just check out with Ashwin, sir.
Okay, sure.
So that's what.
Yeah, even I remember there were a few more last time who had confirmed.
Yes.
So we will wait, but yeah, I mean, we'll also proceed with the other things. Okay, if you're ready, Abhilash and Saujanya, we can go ahead with the HR round. Thank you, Altaf. Thanks for interesting points. You bring about some interesting, sometimes things like that happen in the real.
It happens. It happens in real time. It happens. So.
Thank you. All right. So I don't think we need a background because we are all aware of the scenario. Now you're going to go into an HR round, and both of you can do your discussion, and let's see how it goes. Okay.
Sure, sir. We're just thinking if we should be, switching roles. Like if Saujanya could be the HR and.
I leave it to you. Yeah, I leave it to you. If you're comfortable doing that, that's also good. Yeah. I see that you've removed your blazer or whatever, so we can.
Yes, just a variety of it.
So yeah, so you can, I can switch roles or do whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll be the HR person. So.
Okay, good. All yours.
Yeah. Hi, Abhilash. This is Saujanya.
Hello, ma'am. Very good afternoon.
Yeah, very good. How was your day?
The day was good, ma'am. Thank you so much. How was yours?
Yeah, good for me. Thank you so much for asking. So yeah, very sorry that I mentioned in the short notice, so you had to join quickly. But we had to
No
wrap up
worries.
things for the month in, so I just wanted to meet you and finalize the things.
I understand.
Uh,
Ma'am. Yep.
yeah, thank you so much for that, Abhilasha. So how did your interviews go, and how was your discussion with the manager?
Yeah, things went pretty well so far. All three rounds went well. I believe I was able to answer most of the questions because of all the education background that I bring in and also the college project experience that I come with. I believe I would be a great fit to this particular position.
Okay, that's nice to hear from you. So I've got uh, uh, sorry. I've got an update from the manager also saying that you have performed well, so you have been considered for the final round. So congratulations for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, even we are hoping that to onboard you soon. So just to make sure that like, can you just explain me a few points about your strength or your weakness? How is it?
Okay, talking about my strengths, I am a very quick learner because I come from like a good education background, a technical course basically. So I have completed my MCA. So during my course, I have learned lots of technical programming languages also. So that's where even during our project. Duration, so I was able to pick up new technologies. For example, I was also able to pick up technologies such as AWS cloud, right? So that is not in our curriculum. So even though the duration of the project was only 4 months, because it was an internship project, so I had to do it from a company. So there I had to pick up this new technology and also improve my Python programming skills, and I was actually able to implement the project. So that is where my strength lies. So any new technology, I'll always go and I'll dig in the internet. I'll try to learn about that particular technology or tool per se. So I'll try to all this I do it in my free time. I'll try to learn something new always. So that is one of my biggest strength. Talking about weakness, so I believe that I have a very key eye for perfection, because I don't believe in delivering something that is not perfect at all. For example, even our project, because this project, we were doing, it was a group project, so we were doing it from a particular company. So that is where we were doing the internship. So that is where we were working with people who are already IT professionals. So that there was no compromise in the quality of the project that we were doing. So that's where I feel sometimes I might take a bit more time than the time actually was allocated for that particular module or the entire project, because that was that's what exactly happened. So I was supposed to complete this in about 2 months time. I took couple more weeks extra to do that, because I wanted to deliver something that is of very high standard, so that it they should never come back saying that, okay, this was the module that you developed, and when we went in for integration and testing it out with other modules, so they should never come back and say, okay, this did not work. So there was some issues with your code or issues with your approach. So that is where I believe that is kind of a weakness, I believe. But end of the day, I always deliver very good high quality result.
Good to know about this stuff. I don't come from a technical background, so I don't understand much of the things here. But still, yeah, you made it clear for me. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Do you have any hobbies or any interest?
Hobbies and interests, I always love to trek. So during my weekends I would go out and explore new places with my friends. So that is one of the hobbies that I have, because I believe that you need to explore places, either read lots of books or go out and explore the world. So I am the second type.
Okay, that's nice. So we do have some of the programs from our company, so I think you'll be a part of it. So if you want to lead some team also, there are some initiatives so that you can make a group or suggest some places. So I think this will be a good platform for you too. So
Sure.
yeah, and I have a question like what should should it be a problem if we relocate you from Bangalore to any other place?
When you say any other place, like, do we like what are the different cities? Like, do I get any options?
Yes, we have Hyderabad as one more client location for the current project which we are working on. So maybe if we are ready to, move for a couple of months, maybe you'll be able to explore there also. But still, just asking on like. Yeah.
If it is for a short duration, then definitely yes, I could consider that. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much for that, because I love to mention it as a part. So,
Understood.
so would you like to work in the overtime or some odd hours? Is it fine with you?
Odd hours, like, not in the the US time zone, or what they call it as the graveyard shift or something, right? So where the shift extends beyond like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. That is something I would not be very comfortable with. But any other time, then definitely yes.
So you would be comfortable with UK shift, is it?
UK shift.
It'll be like generally from, it'll be generally from 1 to 10 or 2 to 11.
Sure, definitely. That works for me.
Fine. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I wanted to understand, what kind of perks would the company provide? Because
Okay.
I do understand that, I would be working from a different, like on a payroll of a different company, right?
Yes.
Because I'll not be on a direct payroll. So still, like, what kind of, company benefits would I receive?
So you would receiving the same as a full-time employee, but there's only one difference, that is for your insurance, which will not be a group insurance which you'll have. For example, our full-time employees will have a group insurance called that they can tie up with their parents or their in-laws or and spouse with the kid. So this is for a group insurance, but being a client payroll, so you'll have the individual insurance here. But once being converted to our company, you'll get into the form here. So talking about the other perks, you'll have Sodexo and like defining for your amount. So you can specify, do you want for 500 or 1,000 or 2,000. So since you will be working for UK shift, so it will be from 2 to 12 when the daylight savings is there, or else it will be like 1 to 10, 1 to 10, sorry, it was 2 to 11 and 1 to 10. So for that, you will have a shift allowance per day. So that'll be about 750 rupees per day. So that'll be an extra one. And you'll be an edge employee, and you'll, as usual, you'll be considered with the same leaves as our full-time employee has. That's a fraternity leave you can take, or a sick leave 4 leaves per quarter, and casual leaves will be 3 leaves per quarter. So and all our employees are entitled for furlough in December, so you'll get an off for 15 days. So that's from our. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I just have one question. In between, you mentioned something called as edge employee or something. I did not get that part. Sorry.
So edge employee concept is only for the employees who are being hired for the contract position. So if you're comfortable, you can go sit and work in the company, saying there in the client location, or else you can sit and work from home. So that will not be an issue for us until and unless you complete your tasks on time. So depending on your manager, how he will be instructing you. So you can talk to him and you can have a word with him going on.
Okay. Understood.
Because not exactly will I be able to give the picture of how it is exactly working in the client location. So that's how. And you'll be provided with the company transport. So you'll have to and fro. You need not pay anything from your end. So that'll be your work. So I think you have also mentioned saying that your expectation is about 4 lakhs. So can we negotiate on that part?
Okay, I did do some research, especially before I appeared to this particular discussion. So I went into Glassdoor, so that's where I went through your company profile, and also I looked at lots of employees who have basically put up their average salary. So from that research, and also based on my education background and the project and internship experience that I bring in, because I also I bring in expertise or at least knowledge of on some of the latest technologies. As I mentioned, I do have some basic hands-on experience with cloud and also on Python programming, and I'm really good at the SDLC lifecycle also. So that's where I went through all, did some research, even on LinkedIn. I spoke to few of the people who are already employed on the same lines. So that's where I basically arrived at this particular number between 4 lakhs and 4.5 lakhs. So that is the range I am looking for.
Okay, so 4.5 would be on a higher end. So I would like to conclude it for 4.2 lakhs. Would you be happy with that?
Okay, 4.2 lakhs. So would there be any other perks, probably like any company shares or something?
Not for the freshers level though, but yes, it's only for the experienced people. But as I said, you would have a shift allowance for 750 rupees per day. That would be around the 20 working days calculated into 750. So that would be a good amount since you're working in the client location and UK considering. So food, especially the people who work from our premises will have a food which is being provided for free, but since you're working from that place, you'll not be able to travel. So considering that, all the points will be providing some 50 allowance. Basically from this 4.2 lakhs, your CTC would be around 35,000 per month, and your take home would be around 32,400. 32,400 per month. With that extra shift allowance, added on. Yes. So
understood. Like, would there be a breakup, shared post this meeting or something, so that I'll be able to go through it and take a final call?
Yeah, sure. Definitely, we'll do that. But until and unless we get a confirmation from your end saying that you'll be happy to sign up with our policies, we'll not be able to share it. But once you give a go ahead, so there will be a formality. Now that I'm happy to take you on board, we don't have any issues from our end, but as I said, we'll be sending a mail so that once you confirm from your end saying that you'll be happy to join us, then the rest of the formalities will be followed. And
understood.
Yeah, that's it from my end. Any questions from your?
Okay, I had a couple of questions. So you did mention about sick leaves and casual leaves, right?
Yes.
If I heard it right, it was about four leaves per quarter or something. So are there any other paid leave policies apart from this?
So what kind of answer you expect? Like paid leaves in the sense you accumulate all your leaves and get it for
Like can I encash my leaves at the end of the year or something like that, or are there any furlough policies in your company?
Actually, furlough should be actually to maintain the health and like streamlining all the employees to make sure that they take out time for their family. So we have made it mandatory saying that the entire company gets shut down for a stream. So you also need some time out of everything. So that is why it is compulsory and you cannot make any alternatives for that, and you'll not be paid even though if you're working at that time. Depends on you and how critical the project is. And about for the first question you asked, can you avail it for because if you're not utilizing anything, that's only when you're entitled to leave the company. That's only situation where you're supposed to take it. But my personal advice is, yes, you need some leave, so you'll have to take it. So that's for your benefit, right? So giving the leaves, yeah.
Would there be any other deductions in the package?
Nothing else. As I said, like if you want to avail Sodexo, it'll be depending on what the number you're selecting. So that will be the minus, and professional tax would be about 200 rupees. As I said, it would be take home would be around 32,400 rupees. This is what I've included as professional tax, your gratuity, and the PF.
Okay, gratuity and the PF also. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, got it.
And yeah, anything else from your?
That's it at the top of my mind right now. So yes, ma'am. So I would definitely like to take this forward. So if you could share all the details. I'll go through it. So if I'm completely satisfied with all the compensation and the other benefits, then I'll definitely sign in.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. We'll do like this. Sure. You can definitely take a call. But do let us know, because once we'll have to share the CTC and we'll have to get, as I said, like we'll have to vote within 2 days of time. We just have only 3-4 days this month. So we'll have to finish the formality this month. So if you have any questions, do write to me on the same email. So
Sure, I'll do
we
that.
can
Yep.
have a call. Yes.
Definitely, ma'am. Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, nice talking to you.
Yeah, same here. Yep.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
That's it from us, sir.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. So, quick few observations. Okay, interesting to see the change of roles. You did the HR and he was the candidate. Yeah, I mean, I think in this case you were not the same like Abhilash was when he was interviewing. You were a little more forthcoming because of your personality, and you may also come out that way, which is good. That's what it's nice that you did this change of role. So you can see, and also usually maybe in the HR round, they may be like that. They may be a little more because it's like almost done. They want to check some other things like like the things you asked, some basic things like sometimes they may also want to test the candidate on psychological questions, those kind of things. The HR round may want to find out what kind of a candidate is it, and they want to do their checks, which is okay. And the other is your policies and all those things you're elaborating, which is typically the case, especially in the freshers level. They just want to make sure everything else is in place and they've understood well. And they have a go ahead from the previous teams. Now their job is to roll out the offer and iron out the details. The only thing about the salary part, sometimes it may not happen like this, but so, and the point that you are expecting him to give a yes, only then you will send the email. I'm not too sure if that is how it happens, or you send out the email or the details and it's up to them whether they accept that offer or not.
Sir, generally what happens is they take the offer letter and they try to play with other companies. Maybe they ask for another offer. Yeah. So usually, they until and unless they sign it for the contractual role, especially freshers do have a lot of options. So that is why there's a policy for this company saying that we'll have to first. Yeah.
So how do you? No, I understood that point, but how do you? So it can't be. So even after you give out, so are you taking some confirmation and written from the candidate as a go ahead, or it's a verbal go ahead and then you will share? At some point, you have to share that and give it to them, right? I mean,
yes, sir.
Yes. The breakup.
So initially, without sending the breakup, maybe we'll send out a letter saying that we are happy to invite you part of this particular team or organization which we are there. So if you're okay, or like just to make sure that he will join, we'll have an email which will be sent out to the candidate, and candidate gives a go ahead through a mail, not a signature kind of also, just a go ahead through a mail. Then all the part of CTC will be shared.
Yeah, but either way, it should not be a surprise, right? I mean, whatever you have discussed in terms of the breakup in the salary, because it's important for them. You may say 35 is the CTC, for example. You may say 35 is the CTC, but the take home, if it is he or she, the candidate has to ensure what is the take home. Is it 32 or 28 or less than that? Whatever is, that has to be very clear. Only then the candidate will go ahead with the thing, right? So it's both ways. There has to be some level of trust, and that thing has to happen, right? Abhilash, what is your view on that?
Yeah, I mean, usually, HRs would not deny sharing this kind of detail because you are only giving them the breakup, right? So it is just numbers. So that's what I exactly felt when she said, no, give me some confirmation only, then I'll be sharing. And if that is the case, most of the candidates would be put off then and there itself. So yeah.
So what is the confirmation that you are expecting, Saujanya? He can't give a written confirmation unless he sees what he's getting into, right? I mean, he or she has to agree for something which he or she has been able to read. If you're not able to read what you're agreeing to, how can they give a confirmation?
No,
Yeah.
sir. Like, if he is ready for all the policies, like we'll have a mail sent out saying that you'll be working for the client place. All if he agrees for all this terms, saying go ahead, yes, I'm willing to accept all these rules. Please share the further. So then we'll be sharing all those things, and then making sure that those terms and contracts will be signed and scanned and sent to HR.
Okay, but the risk of losing that person and figuring out another job based on that, it's still there. That risk is not mitigated anyway. Right?
Any which ways, if it's been shared for the first time, also it is always there, sir.
We're just trying to give in another layer just to maybe get some satisfaction. Okay, so there is some.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So, what else? Any other observations, both of you? So, like for the students, from the students' perspective, I think it is interesting for them to see how the 3 different interviews were, how different they were, in which interview, what will be asked and what will be discussed, and all of that. I think I don't need to elaborate on that. They can, if they were here, they would have seen the difference. There was a lot of discussion on different things, the policies, the salary and all of that, which was not happening in the first 2 rounds. Here it was happening. And are there any perks and all those kind of things, right? Anybody has any questions? Anyone has any questions? Okay, thank you, Altaf. Altaf has given you 8 on 10. Anyone else has any questions? Okay. Anything that you want to share, Sajanya and Abhilash, or you're okay? How did you, what are your thoughts?
It was good, sir, but I could have added a couple of more questions. Like I could have asked, what if you get another offer? Would you reject this and accept that? But it depends on the individual again. Maybe what we ask, they might not answer it frankly, or maybe not a straight answer to the question also.
Yeah,
so I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to ask that question. And one more question came into mind. Just went away, so I'll try to recall it, sir.
Okay. All right, no worries. Usually you will be prepared with a list of questions, especially there is a checklist of things that you want to checklist. I mean, cross out while you're discussing this with the candidate.
Yes,
fair enough. Abhilash, you have any thoughts or any points to make besides what we discussed?
She covered most of the things. What else could have been asked? Like the candidate could also ask, I kind of missed. I could have asked, would there be any traveling involved? But in between, she did mention
Traveling for the project.
Yeah, and usually freshers would not have that, so that's what came to my
Even if
mind.
they have, that is a question that will be there for the first 2. No, I mean it's more to do with the kind of projects, not with the HR. Will HR know about that? Unless it's a very small company. HR, the project might demand travel, but that has to be in the first 2 rounds, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Because travel is also an aspiration. A lot of students, freshers might want to travel, and
exactly.
for different projects, and so there's nothing wrong in asking that question.
Sometimes people also ask if there is any on-site opportunities, stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly.
I got that question, sir. So Abhilash could have asked, could you try to reconsider my CTC if I've asked less? So like we do have a standards, like it can be fixed within 4 to 5. So I could have extended to 4.7 or 4.8, maybe left to HR on their skills. How do they bargain with the candidates? But for that, you could have answered like considering like within 6-7 months, maybe you're getting into full-time role. We'll try to reconsider at that time. Like that. That was the question.
Yeah, you would have discussed, and those are all salary negotiation things. You can do that. That he can do post your sharing of that.
Sharing of the details. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he needs to, now it's all in conversation. So let him get that first. He will see that, and then he will see what is the scope for improvement, where he can ask for more, or where he can, then he will have a better picture of what he can negotiate better.
Yeah.
Right.
Students can literally take this as an example. So I think they can, when they are talking to their HRs also, they can actually add on these points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but this
right.
shouldn't
So
crib too much, it shouldn't sound like, you're trying to bargain in a market or vegetables or something. That should not happen. That shouldn't be like too much to and fro. So that's where I brought in the picture where I am done my research. I went to various websites, Glassdoor and even LinkedIn, because those are the websites where actual employees will go and put up their salaries, anonymously, saying that, okay, I'm working for this particular designation and this is my salary. So that website takes up all of those, creates an average saying that, okay, in India, at least for so and so role, let's say, for example, a software developer. So this is the average. So that's where, instead of sticking to one particular number, instead of saying I am looking for 4.2, you can always go with a range saying that, okay, I'm looking for somewhere between 4.2 and 4.5. So that is where you're giving multiple choices to the HR itself, herself. So
correct. And
that's
also
one.
he was backing his whole thing with, I bring these, and you're also giving reasons why you are worthy of more than what is being offered. So that is also important. He was highlighting I'm very good in Python or whatever, and then
Yes.
I'm this and that and all those things. So therefore, I'm valuable, and you might want to reconsider, increasing or upping the offer that you have for me. Right? Okay, fine. Thank you very much, both of you. I will, I'm happy to see your thing. So there's a applause from my side. And
Thank you so much, sir.
thank you very much. So let's move on. In the interest of time, let's move on to the other one. I think there's one more team that's prepared. So which is that team? Can you quickly come on board and announce yourself? From the chat, I see it is who's the team?
It's Ashwin and Afri.
Ashwin and Afri.
Yes.
Where are you both? Can you come on screen?
So, Anil,
Yes, sir.
Ashwin had sent him on an assignment today.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, you can take his or if required, you tell me, I will take his role with your permission. Because
Yes,
today
sir.
I
And
don't think he'll be able to take it.
what was the other option, sir? I mean, you were saying.
Other option is I don't want to ask you because he has to go for an assignment because we had the next project coming up. There was a project study which had to be done, and Dio had to leave, so he has left now. The other option is maybe on the next class he can start with us.
Maybe that's a better option, sir, because
Better
there
option,
are a
fine.
couple of, there are a couple of, there are some more
Okay,
teams
if
that
you're okay with it, whichever is the next section now, you please start with that, finish everything, and kindly give this evaluation in the first week if possible.
in the first week. Your voice is echoing, sir. I'm not able to hear you very clearly.
Is it possible in the first week, Anil? The complete evaluation of L2?
First week, yeah, sure. No, first week.
First week, maybe 6th or 7th you can give.
Yeah, 6th to 7th is fine. But we have some more left. Maybe
so
one more session.
Would you take one more session in November when are you planning? You were supposed to finish up the 31st October. Yes, sir. But his October sessions are over, no? So I think let him take the first week session. Maybe how many are left? L2 are left, Anil?
So let me look at the list. There were quite a bit of teams, sir. So I think some of at least 3 more teams are there who have not participated.
Anupama, Ashwin, Kavita. So 3. Afri. So Afri, he can take today.
Ashwin.
No, but then he can take Kavita today. What about Afri? Afri can finish today. And who else is there?
Ashwin, Kavita, and Anupama.
Anupama is there. Anupama can give, na? Anupama and Afri, she can take. There only left.
No, Anupama is also not there.
Why? My question is that. Why? Ask her why.
She had logged in. She had logged in at the beginning.
Well, immediately ask her. So, Anil, can you take up Anupama and Afri today? Is it okay?
I can, if they are ready, yes.
They are ready, they have to be ready. You can't go on giving them time. They have to get permission from me. See, understand, if they are taking They cannot take a law into their hands. You mark them 0. See, another thing, you can always mark them 0 if they are not. That marking 0 is in your hand. See, either they take permission from me because there is specific permission given by the management person for traveling to the center where we are going to start the next project. So we have to get it signed because DO had to leave today. DO is not available up to 31st. We have to get those papers today. So that's the reason. But others have not taken permission today. They cannot take the law into their hands. So Anupama and Afreen has to be today. So Afreen and Anupama, they have to be today. Otherwise, that is okay with you, Anil?
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, so that's what I was also telling them. If they're not present, we'll anyway mark them 0.
Yeah, mark them 0. Mark them 0. Anil, mark them 0. Anil, please mark them 0. I'm telling you. Only one person, we have a specific job given to him. That way, otherwise, nobody else is taking permission from him. Nobody. They are supposed to take permission. Forget me. They will take permission from you. More than me, they will take permission from you. So I think mark them 0. Where is Anupama? Then you will mark them 0. Mark us 0. Mark us 0. Anupama, if she is not doing, mark us 0. If she is not, Anupama will give today. Anupama and Afreen will give today. Anil. You have any issue? Yeah, please. Otherwise, you mark them 0.
Sure.
Please. Only left will be Ashwin, and I think who is the second person there? Afreen. Afreen will give today. Afreen and Anupama today. Ashwin, if it is not possible. And Kavita. Yes, Kavita, I tell you what. Kavita's daughter is down with high viral. So she did not come today. She has taken permission from MD. She has taken a leave application from MD. Anil. So she will be there. So only Kavita and Ashwin will be there. So any one of the day we can spare half an hour. I leave it to you. Rest all evaluation you keep ready and submit it by 7th of March.
Sure.
I don't want you to give extra time than what you have committed to QS. Okay.
Sure.
Oh. Thank you, Anil, for supporting.
Thank you.
So you can go ahead with Afreen and Anupama.
Yep. Let's go ahead with them. Afreen and Anupama. So I'm just going through the chat. So Afreen is ready. Just need a partner to perform. So you need to get your part. So that's what I've been saying to all of you. So I'm not going to chase who's there, who's not there, and all of that. We've given enough opportunities, 3-4 sessions, and at least one of those you should have done your role play.
Hello, sir. This is Afreen.
Yes.
Actually, sir, me and Ashwin sir was a team, and we both were prepared for today. But as he got some work, he's out, so I couldn't perform.
Sir, just now I spoke to Anupama. So she'll just speak with Afreen, and in another 5 minutes they'll be giving it. Sir.
She'll come back in. I mean, both of them will be ready in 5 minutes. You're saying, right?
Yes, that's what Anupama said to me, sir.
Okay, fine, fair enough. We'll wait for 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Meanwhile, what about the students? What are the students doing there today? Except Jyoti, nobody else spoke from the students. There was no other representation of students. How come? Can one of these students speak up except Jyoti, because she's already spoken? Who else wants to speak and share their experience of looking at these role plays? I mean, the L2s will say it's helping them, it's very good for them and all of that, but I want to hear from the students. What are they going through? What is it that they are learning, and do they want to see these? Or I need some feedback, right? Who's there? Any students? What is the time now? The time is the college is still going on, even if they're in college. 16:15 now. None of the students are there. S. Kamath, Sachin, Srishti, Manyata S. Mubeshwar, Halima is there, Jex is there, but they don't want to speak. The students, I'm just seeing who all are the students who are present. Rest of them are all centers.
Anil, the second option is you can finish off if required early today. If you have to go somewhere for your job and take up this half an hour or 40 minutes for these two, whichever day which is convenient.
Yeah, maybe that's also a good idea. We can do it before 7th, right? I mean, so that we
Before
complete the
yes.
evaluation.
As long as you give me the evaluation before 7th, I'm fine. No problem. By 7th also, if you give me, I'm okay.
Sorry, sir, your voice was breaking.
By 7th also, if you give me, I'm okay. Anil.
Okay.
By 7th also, if you give me the evaluation of L2, I'm okay because I'm closing the batch 1 now. Actually, all are available up to October 1st, the 31st. From November, we have a different assignment for you, which I will be explaining you in the orientation. We will all 4 experts will meet in the orientation, and I will explain you the job profile, everything. I think you have already got the letter from us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have. I was planning to speak with you. Yeah. So yeah, sure.
That's okay. So I'm going to talk to you on that. Maybe before that, any half an hour which you are free, you can take these two. No problem. One, actually, the daughter is not well, and second is got an assignment. That's the only 2 reasons. And they have taken permission from the manager.
Okay. So we will do it like that then. Yeah, we can do that.
I leave it to you as per your comfort.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. So if nobody is prepared now, I mean, if they're not available for some reason, genuine reason, like sir has explained, we can kind of schedule maybe another half an hour. I'll get back with the team because it's not going to be a full session, and we'll do it at that time.
No,
okay.
Anil, only for Ashwin and Kavita.
Correct. Only for Ashwin and Kavita. Correct.
Anupam, I have to take today. Kindly finish it. Okay, otherwise it will be a load on you. I don't want to give load on you. Okay, please. If they are not prepared, they get a 0. Unfortunately. Okay.
Sure. So these two said they are going to be there in 5 minutes. How long is it going to take, Afreen?
Just give us 5 minutes, sir. We'll prepare.
It's already 5 minutes up, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm prepared, sir. I need to do some discussions with Anupam ma'am.
So what is the discussion you're doing? It's not a rehearsal. You don't have to rehearse the role play. It is a very
No, sir. Actually, I wanted to say that I'm a candidate and she's an interviewer. And so, like what all me and Ashwin sir had prepared.
Okay, yeah, okay, fine, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are all waiting for you. As soon as you're ready, we'll get into the thing. Okay, so we don't want to waste time on anything else.
Sure, sir. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, me and Ashwin sir are ready, sir.
Okay, over to you. So first of all, give us a background on what is the situation, who is going to interview and who is interviewing, I mean, the candidate, and what is the company, what is this all about? Can you throw some light on that?
Yeah. So actually, myself, Afrin. So I'm playing the role of candidate here, and Ashwin sir is the interviewer.
Okay, but your video is not visible. Are you able to, I'm not able to see your video.
1 second, sir. I hope I'm visible now, sir.
You're visible now, yes.
Yeah. So I'm playing the role of candidate, and Ashwin sir will be the interviewer.
Okay, but what, okay, so the interviewer, can they throw some light on what this whole thing is about? Can Ashwin sir come on screen and then I'll ask some questions?
Yes, sir, he is here. Just a minute.
So within a minute, he'll join, sir.
Okay. So meanwhile, Afrin, what is your, what is this company about? What is the role that you have applied for? Can you give us some more
Yeah.
details?
Actually,
Sorry, Anil, Ashwin has come back. He will give today only.
Sure, okay.
So that
Thank
you,
you.
I don't want to create a inconvenience. Give me a part.
Sorry, sir, can't hear you. Yes, sir.
Sir, just a second, sir. I'll just rejoin back. Don't mind.
Okay. Meanwhile, Afrin, yeah, you can tell me what is this job about that you're applied for, that you have applied for?
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm a fresher, sir. Recently passed out batch. So I had just uploaded my resume in the Indeed. So the Indeed recommended me for this job, sir. That is in Infolite Softwares company.
Okay.
It's a role of Python developer, sir.
Okay, and so when you applied, how did you go through a technical round, or how have you appeared for this interview?
Yeah, sir.
What did they call you?
Yeah, the first round was aptitude. Then I was shortlisted from that, and the second round was a technical written round, technical scripting round.
Okay.
And this is the third round for which I have been shortlisted, and it is technical oral rounds.
Okay, so what are you expecting in this interview?
So I just want to give my best with all the technical knowledge and the skills that I have regarding the Python.
What are the kind of questions you are expecting in this interview?
Yeah, the questions like related to Python scripting, sir, which are very needed for the Python developer.
Okay. What else? That's about it. It's a technical round, is it? It's a purely
Yes,
technical
sir.
round.
Yes, a technical round.
Okay. All right. And so after this, what do you expect? After this technical round, in case you clear this technical round, what do you think will happen?
So as per description I had seen in that Indeed, if I clear this round, there will be one more round, that is HR round.
Oh, okay. So directly after this, you will get into an HR round, is it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is Ashwin ready? How big is this company, Afrin?
So it's a reputed company that was started in 1987.
No, so you have to take a, I mean, it's a fictitious company, or you're talking about a real company?
No, sir, it's a fictitious company, not a real.
So it's an 80s. When did it start, you're saying?
1987.
So how big is the company? What is it a big size, medium sized company, or a large company, large MNC? Or how many employees are there? Did you do any research?
Yes, I had Googled. I found that there are around 230 employees.
230 employees only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where is it? Where is this company based out of?
So in Bangalore.
Okay. So, and what do they do? What does the company do?
Actually, after researching, I found that it's a service-based company. They provide the service for banking, financing.
Okay, you said, sir, you did research. How did you do your research?
So just in Google, I have researched, sir. Just by putting the
okay.
company name,
So what did you know?
I got the homepage of the company.
Okay.
Yeah, there I found that what kind of company and so on.
Okay, they are into services. What services do they offer?
They offer services like human resource management for banking, finance.
Human resource management.
Yes, sir.
No, so they have some software to help
Yeah.
HR department, or okay?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Yes, sir. We are dealing with HRMS, sir.
No,
HRMS.
hold on. I'm not asking you. I'm asking her. So, so they are only into HR solutions, is it? HR solutions for companies, free.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and which are the industries they serve? All industries, or they're specific to some industry?
So I found that it's industries like banking, like also like retail industries. Yes, sir.
So, is there a specific reason? Only retail and banking industry, is it? That's their current profile of industries they serve.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they are just 230 employees. And so, what do you want to do in this company? By the way, you want to anyway that he will ask in the interview. I don't want to interview you. So fine, fair enough. Let's go to Ashish.
Sure, sir.
Ashish, yeah, tell me, give me the background of this whole role
Hi,
play.
sir. Sorry to correct. My name is Ashwin, sir.
Ashwin, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. Yes, sir. My company is all about, we are into banking sector, sir. Banking service oriented sectors. We are providing
Banking services.
Yes, exactly, sir.
Okay, but she was saying HR services.
I mean, banking, for banking, we are providing HR services.
Banking, you're providing HR services. Okay.
Yes. So,
Okay.
like in banking, they are looking for only for BCom holders, specialized accountants, specialized employees. So we have a background of like working onto those respective accounts.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the reason we are into providing HRMS mainly through a software, sir.
So you're only looking at banking industry. You're not looking at retail and other industries.
No, nothing. No, sir. Only for banking industries.
Which means she's not very clear. She said there is retail also, retail industry. Anyway,
No.
fair enough. Okay, you go ahead. You are the boss of the company, so you have to tell.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you for handling, sir. Yes.
Tell me about the company. Yeah, tell me more about the organization.
So my company, which was started about 1987, sir, we have almost 160 plus of employees, which is running behind, and we are currently distributed in
How
Bangalore.
many employees? Sorry, how many employees?
160 employees.
160. Okay.
Yes, exactly. We are basically a multinational company which are dealing with only banking sectors, like especially ICICI, Axis, and other Vijay banks, other banks. So we are operating with through HRMS. Purely we're dealing with HRM, human resource management software providers, and we are specialized in providing through a software as well as in by teaching the employees how to deal with the bank reputed organizations, and we are going to train them. So that is what our company profile is all about, sir.
Okay. What is this role, this interview about, and why are you conducting interviews?
So basically, I'm looking for since we are developing HRMS for different customer, different clients, different bank, they have a different requisition. So we want to have a specialized Python developer who wants to build HRMS, who wants to understand the customer requirements. So we want to have a build much more team to provide efficient support to them, sir.
Okay. So what kind of a candidate are you looking for?
So I'm looking for freshers, sir. I'm looking for fresher.
Why only freshers?
So basically, we are running with already 160 members. But as my managing director have given me I'm an operation manager to my respective company. So my managing director told me, given an assignment or task, saying that we have to hire in freshers, any of respective from colleges or any resources. So I wanted to give an opportunity for freshers so that they can be. And of course, as a cost wise also, it is very effective for us.
Okay.
So that is
that's what I was trying to. Yeah, that's what I was trying.
Yes.
So it's because of that you just want cost benefits.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And where is the company located?
So in Jayanagar, sir.
In Bangalore, you're based
In
out of
Bangalore. In Bangalore, Jain.
Why do you call yourself an MNC?
So first of all, as we like serving from 1987 to till date, we have been established. We have been associated with many partners. We have been get renowned named in the market, sir. So, and of course, we had a lot of tie-ups with respective banking organizations. So that is where we stand up with our company terms. Sir.
So why are you a multinational company? Do you serve other? I mean, do you serve some other industries or some other countries and things like that, or is there a
no, sir? Only
there is a market.
So no, only one in India, sir. Only in India.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't want to probe all those things at this stage. Okay. So this candidate has already gone through 2 rounds of interviews. You're going to interview.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First round would be an aptitude. Second round will be a technical. I mean, writing in technical. The third round would be oral technical, sir. Fourth round would be of HR round.
Okay. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Over to you, both of you. Please take
Thank
over.
you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Afrin. Very good afternoon. First of all. Yes, Afrin, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Afrin. I found your CV in Indeed through, I think you have a reference from Indeed, correct, right?
Yeah, sir.
So may I know what is making so much of interest to our respective of our company, first of all?
Actually, sir, from beginning, I wanted to start my career from one of the reputed companies. So when I just uploaded my resume and just I found that job profile for this, so I was like honored that it would be great if I get the opportunities to start my career from your company, sir.
Okay. So, well, as you know, I think you have researched about our company, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What so makes you so much interested, like in the banking sectors? As you know, already we are dealing with only banking sectors. So, what makes you so specialized in our banking sectors organizations, which if we give an opportunity to you?
Yeah, actually, it's regarding my skill sets, sir. I have a keen interest in Python, and I found that you need one Python developer for the banking. So I can say that I'm interested in Python, so that.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm losing your video. I think, friend. Could you please switch on your video or any network?
Actually, it's on, sir, but don't know why. Maybe due to low bandwidth, I'm unable to be constant in my video.
All right, all right. Can I have a quick introduction about you, Afrin?
Yeah. So thank you for the opportunity, sir. Myself, Afrin Banu. I'm graduated in computer science and engineering from Karnataka Institute of Technology, Haveri, in the year 2022.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. And also completed my internship on the course Python from Fuel Organization, Hubli, and also done with one of my academic project, by using Python and machine learning.
All right. Okay. As you applied for Python developer, how familiar you are with Python actually?
So actually, I have studied Python in my academics and also passed with the grade A+. And as I said, I have done internship and worked in Fuel Organization for the same skill, that is Python, and also done with my project that is named Kisan Mitra, that is crop prediction using Python and machine learning. So from all these experiences, I have a good experience in Python.
So, well, what made you so much interested in Python, especially? Why not so other languages, if you don't know?
Yeah. So actually, even I have a skill set like C++, and C++, but I'm very keen interested in Python just because as compared to any other software languages, it is the very easiest languages. A person from any background can easily grab this Python, and also it has very good library as compared to the other skills like C, C++, Java.
Okay. Sorry, sir. Anil, sir, 2 minutes. Our Honorable MD is calling. If you don't mind, 2 minutes, sir. Can I rejoin back? If you don't mind.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, just a second. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sorry for the interference.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, as you're telling something, you can please continue on.
Yeah, that's what I said. So like as compared to any other languages, it is the easiest language, and it has very rich library and user-friendly language.
Okay, Afrin, I have one more question to you, saying that why you want to become a software developer? I just want to understand a little bit brief.
Yeah. So basically, I have graduated from the computer science department.
Okay.
So I just want to build my career in the same field. So I just want to be a software developer.
Okay. Are you want to become full stack or only front end?
Only front end, sir. Because I'm preparing for the full stack, sir. I'm doing with my courses.
So I think, hope you are aware of, if you want to become a full stack developer, how many years you want to require to get build yourself?
Yeah, like around 2 to 3 years, I need to prepare, sir.
Okay. Can I know what is the aggregate of your qualification?
Yeah, it's in the form of CGPA, sir. It's 8.3.
It's 8.3.
Yeah.
Well, I've been seeing your CV saying that. Can I know what are his hobbies?
So hobbies is like other than this technicals, I have hobbies of singing and reading books and like writing some kind of poems.
Okay. Okay. Can you? I think in your engineering, you would have been done any projects, right?
Yes, sir.
As a final semester, could you
Yes.
explain me any one of the respective project?
Yeah, in my 7th semester, sir, I had done one major project. So the title was like Kisan Myth, that is a prediction of crop and fertilizers, and also the leaf disease detection using machine learning and Python.
Okay. So as you used in, like, is it is it applied in real time anywhere actually?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, the project works like this, sir. Based on 5 parameters, that is pH value of the soil, the rainfall, and nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium of the soil. By taking these parameters of the particular land of that area, based on these parameters, the software will predict the crop which will give much yield.
Okay.
And also the detection of leaf diseases, sir.
No, I meant to ask, I understand what is the application, but did you, did your project purposefully anywhere it's used in lifetime?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had done. Actually, our college is located in one of the village sites, so that is Devgiri. So there in Devgiri, we had visited to one of the place where the farmers has their club, one of the club. And after going there, we showed our project and we said, explained all our working things. So just for the trial sake, they asked us like they have provided us the 5 parameters, and based on that parameters, we gave them the results.
Okay. So is any challenges did you face in the project where you could not achieve or anything to do go further next other steps?
Yes, yeah. There was one challenge, sir. Like after implementing it while testing, we compared our predicted results with the predictions of the farmers. As we know that the farmers are the best predictors. So we compared, like example, if my software predicted the crop X for the given parameters, the prediction from the farmers was crop Y for the same parameters. So this was one of the challenge we faced, like which crop will be the best, either the crop like predicted by the software or the farmer.
Well, if you find any challenges, any obstacles in your project, I think you would have been there'll be a lot of challenges which you faced. How did you overcome it actually? How did you overcome with a lot of, you need a lot of confidence, right?
Yeah, sir.
Since
So
you're a fresher, why I'm asking this question to you is, since you are a fresher, so basically you would have having in 3 years of 3 years of knowledge experience. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So if you want to implement it, so it should be either it should be having an helping hand by others. If not, so it should have been done by yourself.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to know that actually.
Actually, sir, it was based all on the data sets. So the primary data sets were collected by me and my team members. We visited 2 to 3 villages, that is Devgiri, Bankapur, and one more that is like Shigaon. By visiting there, we communicated with few farmers and then collected around 62 data sets. Those were the primary data sets. And next, the secondary data sets we downloaded from the website. That was around 122.
Okay. And I think in your project, while using in Python as in specialized learning writing code, what are the challenges which you have faced and what are the measures which you have taken care of by preventing it from any sort of errors, especially?
Yeah, actually, the measure that we had taken was regarding the unit testing, sir. We had tested each component before executing, so that to make sure that it works like as we expect. So we don't find we didn't find much challenges while building the code.
Okay, if that is the case, if you're specialized in so much of Python coding or scripting, can you differentiate between scripting and coding?
Yes, sir. Scripting is just making a note of the code, whereas this coding is we write the same code in the software and execute it. That is a major difference. And in while scripting, we don't get we can't predict the errors, sir. But while coding, we can predict the errors and also we can get the results for those.
All right. And my next question is about what are the data types in Python actually? If you know the data types, can you please mention that?
Yeah. So the first data type is numeric, which consists of integer, float, and complex. And next is sets, and then dictionary, boolean, and then the sequence, which is of strings, lists, and tuples. These are the data types.
No, friend, I lost you actually in between. Could you please tell me?
Sure. Actually, there are 5 major data types. Like the first one is numeric, which consists of integer, float, and complex, and then boolean.
Okay.
And then sets, dictionaries, and at last we have
No, friend, I've lost you completely. No. Sorry to interrupt. I have lost you completely in between, actually. Are you able to hear me? Afrin?
Yes, sir.
No.
Now I'm able to hear.
No, I'm hearing your words in bits of pieces. So, yes, please.
Now am I audible, sir?
Could you please come to a little bit at least, so that I can be audible at least?
Afreen, are you there?
So, sir, now I'm audible, sir. I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible. Go ahead.
Yes, please continue.
Yeah, sorry, sir. Due to low bandwidth, I couldn't be constant.
That's okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So data types are like, first one is numeric, that consists of integer, float, and then complex. And then Boolean is one more data type. And then sets, dictionaries, and the last one is sequence, which consists of strings, lists, and tuples.
All right. And as you told, list and tuples. So how familiar are you? With the list and tuples? What is the difference between list and tuples?
Yeah, actually, so lists are mutable, which means that elements in the list can be changed, whereas this that
I think I lost you again, Afrin. No, are you there?
Afreen, are you there?
so unable to hear you.
No, are you there? Am I audible to you?
Sorry, sir, can't hear.
I think now are you able to hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
I think
audible.
I think like there is some issue with your internet. Like, could you please recheck it back?
so. There's some connectivity issue at your end, Afreen, because we are all able to hear each other.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes. Should I repeat, sir, like the difference between list and tuples?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so lists are mutable, which means that the elements in the list can be changed, whereas tuples are immutable, which means we cannot change the elements. And lists are enclosed in the square brackets, whereas tuples are enclosed in the normal braces. These are two major differences between list and tuples.
See, one thing is I understand tuples. What about indexing in point of while coding as we face it in the lines of code?
Yeah, indexing means that is giving the index position for each of the element in the lists or the tuples or anything, and which help us to like access any of the elements in the given list or the tuples by using these indexes.
Okay. See, for using index, can you give any examples where we can use indexing?
Yes, sir. Like example in lists, sir, if a list has 4 elements, that is A, B, C, D, and we can give the index as like from 0, 1 to 3, where if I want to get access to any of the element, I just need to call the index of that element, so that the particular element will get executed.
Okay. What about in sets?
Sir?
What about in sets? Sets. You have told about list.
Sets. Okay. Actually, so sets are considered as unordered, which means that whenever we try to execute the elements in the sets or whenever we try to access any of the element, we cannot access the particular element. As they are unordered, every element will be executed randomly. So there is no meaning of indexing to the sets.
All right. Okay. If that is the case, a dictionary. Have you heard about a dictionary in Python?
Yes, sir. It's a data type.
It's a data type, right? So,
yes, sir.
What are the dictionary sets which are available in ordered or unordered way? How do you justify it actually?
Yeah, we consider dictionaries as ordered and unordered both, because in version 3.6 and earlier, it was considered as it's ordered. So both are correct.
I think I'm losing your voice actually. I'm not so clear of your voice.
So now am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, you're audible, but when you are
Hello.
explaining, when you are explaining, your voice is not so much clear, crystal clear.
Okay, I'll repeat it, sir.
Yeah.
So dictionaries are considered as unordered in the version of Python 3.6 and earlier, sir. But now, like after Python 3.7, it has considered as ordered. So both are correct.
What about 3.10, which is recently, I mean, which is upcoming
So ordered.
versions? Sorry?
Yeah. So dictionaries are considered to be ordered in 3.10.
Okay. So one more question is, what are the unit tests in Python actually?
So unit test is nothing but testing each of the component, that is a function before executing, to make sure that we'll get the output as expected, which will minimize the chances of getting errors.
Okay. So, well, how knowledge about, like, I've gone through your like CV saying that you're specialized in coding, which you have told. So I've checked into Python, what are the things which you have told. But how well, if you're given different project, like saying about, if you're giving on a management software requirement, how well you will be able to develop, how well you will be able to adopt.
Sorry, sir, I didn't get you. Please repeat.
So see, as a Python developer, if you assign some project, like saying that we want a management
Yes,
software
sir.
to be tested, first of all, not to be developed. We want to have a testing phase. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm able
So
to.
during testing phase, how well you will be able to adopt it? So suppose managing softwares and all, it is already in different thousands of lines of codes. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So how well you will be able to interpret it and get analyzed when we given an opportunity?
Yeah, actually, so in testing, I'm not so thorough, but I'm trying to get a course for testing so that I can be familiar with both developing and testing. So that I'll work on testing and then make my work done.
So my point of question is, suppose if as you face in challenges in your many projects or whatever the career projects which you have done, I mean engineering project. So since we are doing in live interaction projects with the clients, so some any obstacle comes, how will be able to tackle them? How will be able to convince them or get attention of them, saying that you'll be able to deliver deliverables for them exactly what they need.
Yeah, actually, sir, I believe that there will be a team which will be guiding for me. As a fresher, I'll try to give my level best, and also I'll try to get the help of my senior workers over there, and then make my clients like satisfied.
What if so? If you don't get any senior assistants, suppose if you're given one project, I mean one mini project to you, so that you have to do a justice to that, how you'll be able to do that?
Yeah, in that case, I will try to learn from the online platforms, sir, by myself, and try to give my best with all the knowledge that I have received from the online platforms.
Okay, so what are the other skill sets which you have, so that we can have a clarity on that?
Yeah, the technical skills are Python, sir, and then C language.
Okay, see, okay, as we know, we are having in 4 rounds. Are you aware of it, first of all?
Yes, sir, I know that.
Okay, since there will be a next writing technical round, and third round would be of oral and technical. I think as I'm an operation manager, I've been just went through your profile saying that what all basics you have since you're a fresher. So what is your further agenda? How you want to build your career further?
Yeah, for right now, I can say that it's my short-term goal to just get placed in your company, and then grow up my knowledge, and then to get one of the best position in the same company, sir.
Okay. So do you think your value will worth more to our company?
Yes, sir. I think so.
Uh,
Because of my hard working and dedication towards my work, it will be like worthful for you.
okay. Okay, friend. Thank you for this interview. So we'll get back to you in another second round as in writing technical round.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Friend. Yes, sir.
You're done, both of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so quick things. I also need to now it's like around 5-ish, so need to leave. So, but quick observations. Looks like, I will give some of these points in the next session, maybe as a recap of all of this and specifically for your role play. But in general, it looked a little. Okay, I will reserve my views. What about the others who are watching them? Say, for example, Abhilash and Saujanya, or Altaf, or anyone else.
Yes, sir, Abhilash.
Yeah, Abhilash.
Okay. A couple of points. Like I personally felt it was, they both were underprepared, especially, that's how they sounded. That's the very first thing. Then the initial, information about the company that both of them gave, they were not on the same lines. Especially, like there was some disconnect between that. Like she told the company is both. They serve both banking and the retail domain, but whereas Ashwin said no, it is only for banking domain. That was one thing. Then what put me off was, this company is in existence since 1987, but they only have like 230 employees is what she said. But then Ashwin said they only have 160 employees. That number is extremely low, to be, frank, especially when they say they are catering to banks, very big bank names that came out, like, HDFC and all those. Then again, they said MNC, but MNC is like, when your company has a presence in at least one more country, or you're, serving in a different country also. So all those disconnects, were there. That's what I felt, sir.
Yeah, so thanks, Abhilash, for bringing up these points. It was looking a little ill-prepared or forced because they were supposed to do a role play. If that is the case, anyway, that's not an excuse. But yeah, in general, I felt not so well prepared. It wasn't crafted for a role play. I think it was a little forced because you had to do it today, or you wanted to do it today because of the deadline and things like that. Other points, okay, assuming, okay, all that is given, and then all that is, if we set that aside, as per the interview, there are a few points which I will probably share in the next session. But yeah, so I think those were my points. So, Shwin, were you prepared for this actually?
To say exactly, I'm not, sir, but due to we are working onto head office, we had a lot of working.
So there was no preparation. Yeah, you can be honest.
Yeah, no, to be very honest, I was not prepared at all. But of course, when we are into, it's an interview. First of all, interview is all about a real-time interaction. Where I believe, even if I go for interview, where if you have a knowledge skill set, you can expose anytime, any point. So there is no preparations. But of course, in a company's point of view, depends upon what job role, what requirement is there. We have to prepare on that, sir.
No, so when I said prepared, do you know what this role play is about, why we are doing it, and what is that whole thing? You're aware of the background, right?
Yes, sure, sir.
Okay, and what about Afri? Was she prepared?
I think so. She should have been prepared.
No, she has to answer.
Not so good, sir. I haven't prepared.
And the other thing that was putting us off was your video. I don't think video and audio. You are the candidate. I don't think you can afford to have a poor connection and be not there on the video all the time. Especially if the other person is already there. You can't afford to be not there, right? Okay.
I don't know why. So today it's
No, I'm not asking for reasons. I'm not asking for reasons. I'm just saying that that is something which is not a acceptable thing in an interview, right? So that's about it. So I mean, you may have genuine reasons, but I mean, I'm just pointing out those issues, right? So that you can correct. Let's see next time when we do it, if we can correct that. So otherwise, yeah, there are a few other things that we wanted to point. Afreen, you wanted to say anything from your side?
no, sir, nothing.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Do you think what could you have done better?
Sorry, sir, I didn't hear you.
What could you have done better?
Yeah, sir. The first thing is the connectivity
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
was not supporting me.
I'm sorry.
The first thing was the connection issue, sir.
Okay. So yeah, so that is something which is in your hands. You will need to correct that.
Due to which my confidence levels went a bit down.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that is something which you need to correct yourself. That's in your hands, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I also need to move. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I mean, I would have liked to spend a few more minutes for some discussion, but I will do that next time definitely, and we will all reconnect again. Okay, in the next session, which you will get a schedule on, and I'll also do that half-an-hour thing for the other L2 group. And till then, yeah, I mean, let's all the students and the L2s, so whatever we've understood and all that, please do a recap of that, and then especially the students, next time when we connect, we'll need to have a recap and points on what we've learned so far. And in the meanwhile, I'll also share my evaluation of it. All right. Thank you. If there are any last questions, please go ahead. Otherwise, I'm done for today, and I'll hand it over to the organizing team.
Nothing as of now, sir.
All right.
From mind, it's nothing.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Can I hand it over to the organizing team?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You all have a good evening. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.